as we say in racing, it's all about the presentation.
If you run a business and you look like you have a dirty shop, you have a dirty showroom, the people that work there haven't bathed in 2 weeks.
All right, it doesn't look professional.
You have to look the part. I am really bad with spelling and I'm really bad with names, but you have the coolest, most unique last name. I mean, any woman that you meet on the planet and you tell them your last name, they're going to just melt in your arms. What is your last name?
Pernesiglio.
That is just sick. Sounds like a pizza I want to eat.
No, my name is Derek Pernesiglio, and I'm a wearer of many hats, I guess you could say. I am a racing guy, a race fan that got lucky, really. Moved down here in 2001 to work in the racing business. I used to be a driver for a long time and kind of changed my goals up when I realized that you need millions of dollars to get where you want. So I still wanted to work in the racing business. So I had announced races up north for a little bit, and I thought, I want to try making it on television, and I can remember vividly sitting around the campfire after going to the races, because my family has raced for years. My dad raced, my brother raced, I raced, now my nephew races.
What kind of racing?
They're called midgets.
Midgets.
Yeah, it's called midgets.
Where did that come
from? Not like the little people, but midget racing has been around since the 20s and 30s.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yeah,
okay.
People don't realize that. Yeah, it is a form of racing that was a stepping stone to get to the Indy 500. Nowadays, it's used as a stepping stone to move up to sprint cars, NASCAR, up the ladder. Some guys have used it to go to open wheel Indy type racing, but it's a long-standing tradition.
So where did you start racing? Where was your first race?
My very first race was a go-kart race in 1991. I was 17 years old. Very old by today's standards.
Yeah.
But back then, you were a young driver. I started in go-karts and eventually moved up. I moved up to what was called a Pro 4 modified, which was a 4-cylinder modified type car, an open-wheel type car. Did a little while in that, and after a while, you talk to some car owners here and there about picking up a ride, as they call it, driving their car. So I drove everything over the years.
What was your favorite?
My favorite type of car to drive?
Like if you could get in a car right now and say, man, I want to drive this car.
A midget.
Midget?
It is.
Really? They're fun?
Oh, my God, dude.
How fast are they?
I mean, they'll do 160 on a mile track easily, but the thing is that you're talking about a car that is an 80-inch wheelbase that has 360 to 380 horsepower. Okay, you've got.
Is that a lot?
That's for a car that is around the 900-pound range. Yeah, so you're talking about a car that has 380 horsepower.
What do you think the 0 to 60 is on that car?
For that.
2 seconds?
Probably, because when you hit it's one of those type of cars where if you blip the throttle, your head goes
okay.
It does that.
Yeah.
You get thrown back in the seat.
So you've driven every kind of car.
I've driven a lot of different.
Midget is the one that you want.
Yeah, because
why don't you own one now? You could still drive.
They're way too expensive.
How much are they?
Oh my God!
If I want to go buy a midget car right now and say, man, we're going to sponsor you as a midget racer, how much do you need?
You're probably talking about $80,000, probably 80 to 90 grand
for a midget,
for something really good. And that's just the car. That's just the
motor car.
That's a complete car with an engine, ready to go. So a motor will probably run you about 45,000. Same thing for the car. So you're probably looking around 80 to 90 grand. But like my old crew chief used to tell me,
you need to.
Buying it's one thing, feeding it is another.
Yeah, you need fuel. Do they do oxygenated fuel?
Methanol.
Yep,
methanol.
How much is that stuff?
A gallon nowadays, I honestly don't know.
It's expensive, probably.
It's got
$10 a gallon, maybe.
I don't know if it's gotten that much. I'd have to call my dad and ask him what the price is.
Is he still racing, your dad?
Oh, yeah. They've been doing it since the 70s. So my dad...
he won't give you a ride?
What's that?
He won't.
I used to drive for him.
I know, but you can't ride up there one day and just go drive for him.
Well, right now his grandson is driving.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
Yeah. And I tell you what, though, my nephew, he is 3 times the driver me and his father ever were.
Oh, that's badass.
So
you're supporting him?
He is. Yeah, he's 14 years old, and he just won Rookie of the Year in the Northeastern Midget Association.
That's cool.
Pretty incredible for a 14-year-old.
So what did you do after you raced midgets? What did you do after that?
After I raced midgets, I worked during the day for a car dealership. Hated it, absolutely hated it. I just wanted something.
What'd you do at the car dealership?
Wholesale parts.
Okay.
So I just hated it, though. It was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in racing in some sort of facet in life. And there was a local go-kart track where I lived that had Friday night races before we would race on Saturday nights over in Riverhead Raceway, which was on Long Island, which was a NASCAR sanctioned track. So everyone would go there and play. So some of the drivers' kids would play, some of the drivers themselves. They needed an announcer one night. So I said, I could do this. So I went up in the booth and I just announced some races, and people were like, wow, you're pretty good at this. So word got around here and there, and the times that I didn't have a ride driving for my old man, they would say, why don't you let the kid announce? He's not bad. And I had already known the guys that we race with, so it was easy. It was easy.
You knew the racing, you knew the people, you knew the cars.
Right.
Yeah.
So I knew it all. Knew some of the technical aspects of it too. So that's
so you'd be like, Bobby's in turn 4. He's about to crash into Jason. He's on the edge.
Right. Well, I can definitely explain to someone what happens if the car catches a bite on the right rear after the guy gets loose and spins him up the track the other way. Things like that. So
do you go into your radio voice?
Yeah, you do. You pick it up an octave. There
cool.
is. Yeah, there.
Yeah, you go up and
down. You have to have an announcer voice.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. So you have to have what we call your peaks and valleys.
Okay.
So there was that. So just doing that announcing for a while, it led to word getting to a local producer who was doing a local show up in Seekonk Speedway in Massachusetts. They were doing a local show up there. They asked me to come in the booth. I talked for a little bit on TV. They were like, hey, you're really good at this. You should try to pursue it. I said, all right. Well, one day I'd had a bad day at work, and I had just had it. And I was still living at home with my mom. And I said, you know what, Ma? I said, I think I want to go back to school. And this was right after my grandfather had passed. And he had mentioned this school to me and sent me a flyer. And it didn't come until after he had passed away, as fate would have it, too. 'Cause he passed away, and then the brochure about the school came a few weeks later. I don't know how, either it got lost in the mail or whatever, but we discovered it after he had passed. And I said, you know what, Ma? I walked in the door, and as crazy as it sounded, I said, I want to go back to school. And she was like, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be on TV someday. I said, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it. I said, I just know it. I know it in my heart. I know I'm going to do it. And there were 2 other times. There was one other time my mom said that I had that look in my eye, and that was when I had doubled up in high school and took 2 years together to graduate a year early because I had been left back. So she had kind of saw that, and she said, okay. Then she co-signed for a loan for me, and I moved up to Providence, Rhode Island. I went to New England Institute of Technology into their video and radio program. While I was up there, I interned at Seekonk Speedway and Thompson Speedway, paid internship, which was great because I was going to school during the day. I'd get off and go announce at Thompson Speedway on Thursdays. Friday nights, there were times I would drive over to Stafford Speedway and work over there. And then Saturday would work at Seekonk Speedway. And if my dad was racing somewhere on Sunday, I'd go drive the race car. So it was really an awesome time to be alive.
Like
it really was an awesome time
to
be
alive.
Did you get paid? Not much. Not barely, just enough to pay the rent.
But it was a resume builder.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And enough to buy, enough spaghetti to be able to live in the apartment.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly, exactly. So did that for a few years and graduated. And a month before graduating, I ran into one of my buddies from Long Island who was working down south. A guy by the name of Matt Dillner and his older brother, Bob Dillner. Bob was a reporter. He had been doing some on-air stuff, and our families used to sit in the grandstands together at our old home track. He saw me announcing, and I told him, I've been going to school for TV. He says, hey, send me a tape of some of your stuff. He saw it, he liked it, showed it to one of the producers down here who had worked for Wheeler Television, which was Humpy Wheeler's daughter's company, Patty. They had the show Race Day, which had been around for years on TNN. It was hosted by Pat Patterson, Rick Benjamin, Ralph Shaheen. So a lot of famous names were tied into the show. this was like a dream shot. I had got a job as a production assistant to help out on race day. So it was like, okay, move from Providence, Rhode Island, down here to Charlotte, North Carolina in 2001. I moved down here the day Dale Earnhardt died, okay?
Wow.
We were driving down. It was me and my father in a Penske truck towing my car behind me. I had a 1989 Chevy Celebrity. And driving down, I said, you know what, Dad? I said, I'm going to interview Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty one day. And he said, yeah, I hope so, kid. So listening to the race on the radio, they talked about the crash at the end of the race. They didn't touch about it much, and I thought that was kind of weird. We get to my buddy's place, knock on his door. When we get there, he opens the door. He's got tears running down his face. He's like, Dale didn't make it through the crash. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? I'm like, this is incredible to hear, because, you know, you just don't hear something like this.
That's Dale Earnhardt.
It's Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
He's
a
Superman.
legend.
So here I am, my first day on the job, 7 a.m., and I'm setting up a camera in front of DEI. I mean,
to go and basically broadcast to the world about Dale
what
Earnhardt.
had happened.
Yeah.
Shoot the
one of your idols.
Well, we had gotten there early in the morning. Then people showed up and started setting out flowers, and more people would show up. And then more. Next thing you know, I picked my head up, and Route 3 is blocked, balls to the wall in both directions. Nobody's moving. There's thousands of people everywhere. The biggest thing that I'll remember from that day is all those thousands of people, and it was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Like, it was just dead silent. Every once in a while, a car rolling by, but that was it.
Everybody just pulled over on the side of the road.
Pulled over, standing there, putting out flowers. I mean, there was one sign that said, are there any left turns on the way to heaven? Things like that.
Wow.
You really couldn't help but to get choked up. It was amazing. So that was my first introduction into television motorsports.
Who was the first driver you ever interviewed? You went from this little kid all the way back up in Rhode Island, and now you're interviewing people in Charlotte, North Carolina. When did you know you had made it as an interviewer? Like, when you interviewed your first NASCAR driver, and you're like, all right, man, who'd you interview?
The first person that I had thought that I had made it
Yeah.
when I was on TV,
Yeah.
or just as announcing?
Well, a memory that you would tell someone later, like if you had kids down the road and you want to say, hey, son, this is the first person I interviewed, and this made a difference in my life, and it meant something to me.
Probably Richard Childress.
Okay.
He was at Nashville Speedway watching his grandson race, and we had just talked to him quick and asked him, his thoughts about watching his next generation getting into the sport. And I remember I had wore glasses at the time, and I remember being so nervous to interview him that my pulse was pumping so hard I could feel the veins hitting my sides of my glasses.
Wow.
Because I was like, this is Richard Childress. But over the years, you interview another big name and another big name, and it starts to become old hat. There's that kind of thing. But I will say this, though. A couple of years ago, I went with one of my buddies who was working with the NBA, and we had just interviewed LeBron James and Michael Jordan. It was something that he was doing for the NBA. They had hired him to come in here to the Charlotte arena. And I didn't think nothing of it. Okay, another, celebrity, because now I had worked, when you work for NASCAR, you bump into them all the time. Yeah, so I'm thinking nothing of it, celebrity. Interview them, no problem. The very next night, I'm reporting for Speed Sport, which is on MAV TV, and I have to interview Steve Kinzer, who is the king of the world of Outlaws. And I know you don't know who that is.
No idea.
Yeah, okay.
No idea.
500 wins, 20-time, World of Outlaws champion.
What's a World of Outlaw?
World of Outlaws sprint cars.
Sprint cars, okay.
Yeah, sprint cars. They are the probably one of the most badass short track race cars on the planet. About 900 horsepower wrapped up in a car that weighs 1,300 pounds, big ass wing up on top. These drivers have ice water for blood. They do some crazy shit. Those are the ones that you see flipping all the time on the dirt tracks and stuff like that kind of stuff. Anyway, he is the king, the man. I grew up watching him on TV as a little kid, and and that's one of the other cool parts about this business, seeing the guys that I idolized and then get to work with.
Did you have him on your show?
Have not had him on the show yet, but we're working on it.
Working on getting him on your
working
podcast?
on it. Yes, we're working on it.
So you worked for MAV TV. What stations have you worked for?
I have reported for just about all of them. NBC Sports, Speed Channel when it was around, Fox Sports, Fox Sports South, MAV TV, CBS Sports. The only ones that I have not reported for so far have been ABC and ESPN. Those are the only two.
So when you, as a reporter, who hires you?
The production company that is producing the show, or the network that is picking the talent that wants that person on the show. So it's usually like a collaboration. Like when I was reporting the NASCAR races for so many years, NASCAR was producing the shows for Fox Sports. So NASCAR would go to Fox and say, hey, we've got our own in-house talent here that we can use to put on these races, and this is our guy. And if they like how he looks and how he performs on camera, they'll say, yeah, let's go with him. Or they'll say, no, we don't really like him. Which is really tough sometimes because the television business is very objective. So you could be out of a job tomorrow if a producer doesn't like your look or your voice or your delivery or whatever.
Something you said on social media.
Whatever.
They can make anything up. We don't like you.
Right. It's an objective medium. And that's the tough part.
It's like Hollywood, being actor, actress, and being hot one day and being not the next.
That's really what it is. And I'm going through that right now.
You're 47.
I'm going through one of the old Bible verse, pride comes before the fall.
Okay.
Well, I've celebrated about the last 10 to 15 years worth of pride. And now the last 2 years have been experiencing a fall. It's been hard. It's been tough going through some of these things that have gone on. COVID had a lot to do with it.
What's been the toughest? Waking up one day and going, I can't cover a race. I can't get a job. I can't get hired.
You know what? It's tough to pinpoint one because, all right, let me give you a brief overview. Since March of 2021, since March of 2020, things have started to go downhill. My family is all from New York. COVID hit New York around that time. My grandmother died in March. The rest of my family had gotten infected while I was up there also taking care of my mom, who had suffered this massive heart attack. We could not see her in the hospital because they didn't know if she had COVID or not. This was right at the beginning of it, so they didn't know how to test.
Hospitals were kind of shut down.
Right, hospitals were kind of shut down. Couldn't get in to see my mom. While that was going on, my grandmother died, okay? My grandmother passed away. Next thing you know, my mom gets out of the hospital. They say she's not experiencing any symptoms, yada, yada. Okay, fine. We get my mom out of the hospital. We get her settled over at the house while we're handling my grandmother's affairs, my mother in that time has a relapse. She has to go right back to the hospital. We go to my grandmother's funeral. We get home from my grandmother's funeral. 2 hours after getting home from my grandmother's funeral, the phone rings. We all have COVID. Now we're like, holy shit, so this is one thing after another. My mother pulls through it, thank goodness. My sister-in-law pulled through it. I didn't get anything. When that happened and I tested negative, I had to get out of the state. So I had to go home to North Carolina. When I got home to North Carolina, I had to quarantine for another 2 weeks because we were quarantined 2 weeks in New York. So I was quarantined for a month. Going
nuts.
Stir crazy.
Yeah.
Stir crazy. Thank God my girlfriend, God bless her, she got everything ready that I would need for 2 weeks in the house. Food, things like that, whatever I would need. Toilet paper, whatever. Cat food to feed the pets, all that. So I spent 2 weeks in the house by myself, stir crazy, going nuts, because she couldn't even see me either. So she went to her daughters. While that's all going on, all I'm thinking is, all right, if I just get back to my normal routine of going racing again and reporting races, I'll be fine. Well, of course, with COVID, live events go away. So live events go away, it's like, work goes away. Work goes away, money goes away. Bills add up, things start getting paid, bank accounts are getting lower. Now my family members are dying. I lost a cousin who died, lost another cousin who had passed away, another friend who had passed, COVID related. All of this is going on. 2021 starts, and I'm told, we're not going to have you back anymore. We've already figured out that we can do these races, with a skeleton crew.
Who is they?
The production companies that are shooting the races for NASCAR.
And what company was that you worked for?
Technically,
Multiple?
I was freelance. I was a contractor.
Okay.
So I'm contract
So
labor.
all production companies that help out with NASCAR, all of them, would source you out as a contractor to come and work for them?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I would be, and of course, the more well-known you become, the better your reputation and, the more.
But you've been doing this for what, 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years. And
Did you have a good reputation? People like you?
I hope I got a good reputation. I really do. I like to think that people know me as a hard worker, someone who has a lot of knowledge in the sport.
I mean, you have a perfect face. Like
Thank you.
You're like on camera. It's perfect. Like your hair is perfect.
Well, nowadays
I don't know who your stylist is, but like your hair is like perfect.
I do it myself.
It's perfect. You must have watched a video on YouTube or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But nowadays things are changing. They are. They're wanting more diversity on camera. They want more females on camera.
Yeah.
They've got the hot sideline girls for the football games.
Yeah. See, that's what killed me.
It's and it's going to all of the sports.
Yeah, I was watching football years ago, and listen,
And I'm cool with that. Don't get me wrong. As long as you know what you're talking about.
You know what? You just hit the nail on the head. Okay, I've been watching football since I was a kid. Played football. I get and watch an NFL game, and there's this reporter. I can't remember. It was 4 or 5 years ago, and there's this blonde, 5'10", semi-attractive, pretty attractive woman on the sidelines that walks up and like interviews the coach at halftime. I literally just looked at it like, wow, this girl knew nothing about football. She asked the wrong questions. The coach looked at her like she was an idiot. You could just see an expression on his face. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
But they've gotten better. I will say they've gotten better.
Yeah, I mean,
they're doing their homework now.
And I'm cool. And I'm cool with if you know what you're talking about. And like Chris Economaki told me a long time ago, who is the dean of American Motorsports.
Okay.
He said, and I quote, "Just ask a fucking question." That's what he always used to say. Just you're a reporter. You ask questions. Just ask a fucking question.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how many women have you worked with in NASCAR?
Oh, tons. And there's a lot of talented.
Who stands out to you, though?
There's a lot of talented women that are out there that are definitely deserving of a shot. I can definitely think of Heather DeBow. She is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
She's super talented.
You got her on the podcast?
Her hard worker. She lives in Arizona, so it's tough to get her on the podcast.
Zoom. Do you ever do any remote?
We haven't yet. We like to have.
I want the live stuff too.
We like to have sit-in guests.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to get back to my other story. Fast forward, 2021, work goes away, money's gone, family's dead. Trying to get through 2021. 6 days before Christmas, my mom passes away.
Wow. Sorry.
Passes away from complications from liver failure. Okay, which was weakened by COVID and diabetes, and she was in bad shape.
Right.
Mom passes away. Get back from the funeral. 2 days after I get back from the funeral, my business partner who I'd worked with told me that they were raising the rate of the house that I wanted to buy. So I was losing my house that I was living in because it was a lease to buy thing. So now I'm losing my house. All right, I have other rental properties. Go to move to another rental property. Rental property burns down.
Man, somebody's got it out for you, bro.
I know. So,
and look at you, you're still smiling.
The funny thing is I had said to my girlfriend many times with tears rolling down my face, I said, I just need something good to happen to me. I'm like, why is this all happening right now? And I said, I just need something.
You lost your cousins, you lost your grandma, you lost your mom. You lost your rental house that you had that burnt down.
My job, income.
Your income. But you're still smiling. You got perfect hair.
Better to look good than feel good, right?
I mean, damn. How many people go to plastic surgeons every day to look like you?
Well, but, here's the thing.
I mean, I did Rogaine for like 10 years trying to keep my hair. And I had to finally shave it.
I'm Italian. This is thick as hell.
That's some beautiful.
Even my barber was just like, dude, I've never seen anyone with a head. I'm Italian. I'm Italian from New York. What are you going to do?
I just wish my family would have inbred a little bit, like crossbreeded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a little darker skin.
Is your dad bald?
He's semi-bald, yeah. Okay. Like he's semi-bald.
Do you still have your parents?
Yeah, my mom and dad are still alive.
Dude, talk to them all the time.
I do.
I'm telling you.
It's hard to talk to your parents. You know why? I know you miss them.
I miss my mother every day, man. I do.
Yeah. I'm closer probably with my mom than I am my dad. My dad's he's a chill dude, man. Like he just chills and plays on the computer, and he'll send me emails. Like he'll listen to my podcast and he'll send me an email. Son, it was a very good podcast, but I think you could talk about this, and this. Like he's giving me all these things.
So he's trying to produce you. You should have your dad on the podcast.
No way.
Yeah, and I plan on having my father on. When
Really?
he comes down to visit from New York, absolutely.
My dad actually has had some health issues. He can't speak really well. He had some voice problems. So talking to him on the phone has been very difficult lately.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, he's good, man. He's in good health. He's going to Y, and he goes to the steam room, and he's still kicking, man. He's 82 years old.
Good for him. My dad's going to be 80 this year, but talk to them every day, man. I'm telling you, because there's so many times.
My mom, I love her to death, but she is the worriest person in the world. She will call
so is
you.
my mother.
And she will give you anxiety just having a phone call.
Oh, same with mine. Are you kidding? Every time I called my mom, it was gloom and doom. So
the world's coming to an end. Right. Call me when you get home.
Right.
how are my boys? Like it's the same
question. I still loved her. No. I still loved her, and I try to find all of the good times too. I'm not wearing it today, but I have a pendant I usually wear around my neck. I carry my mom's ashes with me all the time, so they're close to my heart. And I left it on the nightstand this morning.
But anyway, what did you do to bounce back? I mean, you seem like you're in a great mood. You're a good-looking guy. Are you working now again? Are you doing shows? Are you back on NASCAR? I mean, what are you doing right now?
I didn't have a choice. That's really what it was. I didn't have a choice. I had to bounce back because the end result was homelessness. So I didn't have a choice. I had spent many nights depressed, crying. I'll be honest with you. I've been drinking a lot lately. Probably not the best thing to do as a coping mechanism, which is why I've been trying to get.
I love to drink alcohol, but the thing is, to get back to that, I've raised the price of what I drink. So I drink really good whiskeys and I sip them, and I never get drunk. I don't know many people that can ever say they've ever seen me drunk. Maybe once, twice in 15, 20 years. I have a really cool bar at the house that I did. It's called the COVID bar. And I used to love go sit at the bar because I'm a social person. I love to sit at the bar, talk to whoever's next to me, talk to the bartender, watch TV on the sports, play on my phone. I just don't like to go home and watch TV. I can't just sit around. I have to be around people. People fuel me. And I love to hear people's stories.
As socially awkward as I am, I like being around people too. I know.
Yeah. When you told me you were socially awkward a minute ago, I was like, bro, we met. You talked to me. You talked my ear off for like a half hour when I first met you.
Yeah, but you remember, if you remember how we first met, though, I sat there by myself for a while, just like listening to other people. We were at a cookout.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sitting there listening to other people talk around me, and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. And when the I should say, was when you said you had a podcast.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got a podcast.
Yeah.
And then but
our podcasts are two different. But yours is NASCAR related. Yours is race related.
It's racing, not NASCAR.
Okay.
Mine is
racing.
We encompass all types of
racing.
motorsports.
Okay.
Yeah.
You doing motorcycles yet?
What's that?
You doing motorcycles yet?
We'll have motorcycle riders on, man.
That's
Absolutely.
what my son used to do. He used to race motocross.
Absolutely.
Those guys are amazing athletes. I didn't realize how brutal that sport is.
Oh my God, those guys beat themselves
Motocross is tough, man.
And it's almost like a rite of passage too, because they'll be like, yeah, I got this many screws in this wrist, I got this many bolts in this ankle.
And my son, luckily, knock on wood, he had one broken arm, but most people have a collarbone because when they fall their shoulder, they break a collarbone. That's like the number one injury in motocross.
Have you ever been to one of the flat track races I know you don't like racing on ovals, you already said that, but have you ever seen the flat track bike racers that race on ovals?
Have not. I've seen on TV.
Those guys are nuts, man.
I like the All-Star race the other day. It's 3 segments, and I like 3 races. I don't mind the night races. I've been to a couple NASCAR events. I like the drag racing stuff.
I'm telling you, come with me to the dirt track. You dig it.
All right.
You dig it. You're gonna get dirty. Don't get me wrong.
I had to bring
The
my
dust
boys.
is flying. They'll dig it too. I'm telling you.
It's in where?
It's in Salisbury. It's a little dirt track. It's called Millbridge Speedway. But you need to come up to my track, which is Mountain Creek Speedway. That's where we also race.
I want to watch
so.
you race.
So I haven't raced in years, man.
That's why you'll be probably great. You'll get back in the car and you'll last about 3 laps. You'll lead at least 2, and then you'll probably pull in, say something's wrong with the car.
No. Jesus. What was my? I think the last time I raced. Well, actually, the last time I technically drove, we wrecked in practice, and then the time before that we blew an engine. So I really.
Let's get my boys together. We'll go over to Victory Lane. My buddy Fred owns that. It's a cool little place. You been there? Victory Lane GoKarts?
Many times.
We'll go over there and do some, you'll probably kill us.
It's fun.
What do you weigh? Like a 140?
148.
148.
I'm 5'7", 148 pounds.
I mean, you're a jocky. You could be
the
a
only,
horse.
The only place I'm kicking someone's asses on the track. It ain't physically, because I have been beat. I have lost every fight that I've been in. So I ain't winning no boxing matches or no UFC fights.
I'm just saying, though, who would want to mess with you, though? You're a good-looking guy. You're cool. You're personable. I think
you screw with someone on the track and you get into it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
On the track, you be bumping somebody wrong. They get in the pit and want to come over and punch you.
Oh, yeah. If you start getting into it with someone, there's been many times.
Go get the tire iron. Just put it in your hand and say.
It's come to that a few times. There have been some times,
You didn't have like a big brother or something at the track?
I've taken my helmet off and swung it at some people before.
You didn't have a big brother in the pits with you?
I have an older brother, yeah.
He's bigger than you?
He is. We're the same size.
Okay.
Now we're the same size.
Is that what happens? Italians just are like petite guys or something?
I don't know, because I know a lot of big guys from New York. So it's just I just didn't have.
You didn't get that one.
I did not have the gene privilege.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're a super nice guy. I don't see why anybody would want to mess with you.
Well, that's why, because I try to be a super nice guy to everybody. Because I know physically you don't fuck with somebody that is your size, okay? There's a realm you don't go into when you argue with them or something.
I get messed with more than you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you do.
People
you're
try
a big guy.
me. Everybody wants to try me.
I know.
And I always say, if my life's not in danger, there's no reason to fight. If my life's not in danger, what I have found, and I could be totally wrong, but what I found in my experience at bars and in public or in the gym or anywhere someone is trying you, okay, they're coming at you or they're getting, some emotional distress towards you. I know it didn't come from me. I didn't cause it. I wasn't the cause of it, because I never had bad intent. In my life, I've never had bad intent to ever hurt someone or do anything damaging to someone that didn't already do it to me multiple times. Mm-hmm. That was the only time I would ever switch my ticket. So if I saw someone that was in a bad mood or wanted to come at me, I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I remember this vividly. There was a guy. He was probably 180, smoked cigarettes, drinking, South Carolina, right? Myrtle Beach. I'm sitting at the bar ordering something. Dude's like, you could just radiate the bad energy that he had. I looked over. He was looking at me. He goes, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Man, I'm just enjoying my day, bro." He looks at me and he's enticing me. Like, I can see it. Like, he's enticing me to come into his space and like cause some kind of friction. We started talking a little bit and I listened to him for a minute and I said, "Man, don't worry about it, man." He goes, "What?" I said, "Don't worry about it. I heard about you in prison." I said, "Everybody talked about you in your prison. I know who you are." The guy looked at me like, this dude must have been in prison. He must be thinking of someone different. And so all of a sudden, he thought I was in prison. All of a sudden, he thought that I was in a gang. All of a sudden, he looked at me very differently. Mm-hmm. Like, it was instantaneously. And then I looked at him. I said, "Dude, can I buy you a beer?" He needed a friend. All he wanted was a friend. Mm-hmm. He, had lost his job. His girlfriend, gone. Lost everything. He still had his job. He was trying to find a place to live. And he was really having a bad day. And honestly, when you see people that are really having a bad day and they want to start a fight, let them win. Right there off the gate, just let them win. Don't give them any fuel. Just turn around and have empathy for their situation. But give them some type of clue that you're not a pussy, that you're not a freaking, guy that's going to back down. but you turn around and you give him the win right away. And then you turn around and you make a friend out of that guy. And when he leaves, he's going to be a better person after he leaves that bar than he was before. Because he just needed a little bit of encouragement. He needed a little pat on the back. He needed that, man, it's going to be all right, bro. You're all right. We're tough. We can do this. He was starving to have a conflict because he needed so much rage that he was feeling in his body that he needed to get out of his body. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to punch something. He wanted to hit something. And he was going to hit with the first thing that came next to him.
I know the feeling.
I know the feeling as well.
Especially, but for someone like me, the size that I am, you don't pick fights with people. You know, you don't get into it. Right. So I had to find other places to let my rage out.
Like what?
Well, that's where the drinking came in too, to try to cope with it.
Do you have it under control?
Oh yeah, now I do. I don't have a drinking problem, at all.
That's rule number one for having a problem.
Yeah, I know. They always say I don't have a problem, but no, I mean I haven't drank in days.
I have a drinking problem, but I love expensive drinks.
But I was also drinking to mask the pain, and my girlfriend could see it, and thank God for her, because I tell you what. If she'd have split, because I had given her many opportunities to with how crazy I was getting. Yeah. She had saw many fits that I had thrown, many breakdowns that I had, many emotional, disturbances. Right. And she told me right from the beginning, I'm a ride or die bitch. And she proves it every day, because she is really the reason I'm still alive. Right. Because with all of this happening,
I'm glad you're still alive.
I had thought about, pressing my 10 millimeter to my temple. And
we've all been there, man. Hey, I've been there too. I've had back surgery. I'm in pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I had to relearn how to walk.
Well, this is why I kind of gravitated towards you at the cookout. Yeah. It was that you started talking about that, and you were saying that I don't have this pain. I don't have these things that bother me. You get up every day and you do it. And I was listening to you, and I was like, I need to be like that guy. I need to be like that guy, because I have gone through the last 2 years of getting the shit kicked out of me, and I got to find that kick in the ass, or that motivation to get back to the status that I had, because I want to be back on TV full time like I used to. I used to travel 30 weekends a year.
You know what happened?
What happened?
You met Mike motherfucking Burke.
I heard this on your other episode.
That has stuck with me for so long, man. I was at a conference on my very first podcast. One of my best friends, Chris, he's very popular in our world and what we do. He's like one of the most famous paint protection installers, and everybody knows who he is. He's got an Instagram following, and I'm just some country boy from Charlotte that tints windows, right? And I'm coming up meeting this dude. He's like, hey, I'm Clear Bar Chris. And I go, hey man, what's up? He goes, who are you? And I go, I'm Mike motherfucking Burke. So it was a joke, to be honest. I was trying to, because I'm 6'2", 250 pounds. I'm a big dude. I walk in the room, people see me, they're like, oh shit, that dude's big. Right. I'm obnoxious. I admit it. I don't care, but I do it with a humor. I'm not trying to be obnoxious for any other reason other than,
I can tell. When I first saw it, I was like, this guy's cool.
Yeah, I'm just me, man. People don't get me. They don't. Like, I always say, when you meet me the very first time, it takes 3 times to meet me before you actually get me. Like, normally, I think I had a couple of drinks. I've been drinking half the day. We end up meeting together. So you probably got me at the end of the day. I was already being me. I was already loose. I was like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Right.
But when you meet me for the first time, I'm usually going to say something that's going to rub you the wrong way. Mm-hmm. I'm usually going to be somewhat obnoxious. And honestly, it's a default. People don't realize, like you said, you have social anxiety, right?
Well, yeah, a little social awkwardness.
Yeah, a little social awkwardness.
And the funny thing is with the job I have, you have to be social. Right. So it's like I tell everybody, when I walk in the pits, I get 5-minute conversation with everybody. Right. Because I walk around with a pen and paper. Yep. I see you, chat for a minute, take a note or something like that. I'm looking for what we call nuggets. Yeah. Nuggets of information. Okay. Because that way, if
you're digging,
if someone falls out in the race, or there's a story that happens in the race and they come to me, I got something to talk about. Right. You want to have what they call a nugget on everybody. Okay. So that takes time to do, because you've got 30 or 40 teams that are there.
You got to interview everybody.
So you've got to go in and just chat with everyone as quick as you can. And
yeah.
sometimes guys can't talk because they're working on their cars, or so you're hustling
all walking up and down the pits all day long. interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
Microphone in your hand.
Not yet. Not until we go on air.
Okay.
So I'm walking around with a pen and paper or my iPad in my hand taking notes.
Okay.
And then I'll be on pit road and I'll resort back to my notes and I'm like, okay, this, and I'll hear the announcers talk about something and I'll go, hey, I can add to that. And they'll go, okay, Derek can add. And let's go down to Derek and hey,
love it.
Yeah, lap 19, John Doe has been saying that this and this has happened. It's also his birthday this week, and his wife is, pregnant.
Yeah,
and did it, something.
You get a story on them. Yeah.
Anything.
Tires going flat. Yeah.
Lifestyle, graduation, a funny story, whatever it may be.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So who gave you the confidence to talk on camera? Who did you do coaching? Did you do classes? Did you go to school for this?
I honestly, I just talking on the mic at the racetrack. You're talking to the audience, so I really didn't have a camera in front of me. So the talking part was not a problem. The focusing right into the camera in one spot, you have to develop after a while. Plus, you have to also develop a style and an attitude and sometimes some motions and some facial expressions that help you to connect with the viewer at home.
Right.
Things like that.
You ever thought about going to Hollywood?
I did a Honda commercial.
You did?
Yeah,
really?
I did.
When was that?
With Colleen Odegaard of all people too. Yeah, remember Colleen Odegaard?
No.
From she was one of the local news anchors here.
I don't remember anybody.
So
when it comes to news and media, I don't watch much TV.
Yeah,
I really don't.
But acting, did a little bit here and there, nothing too crazy.
I mean,
but I would try it, absolutely. I mean,
you get Botox. I mean, your eyes look like they're perfect.
God, I don't do Botox or anything like that.
You like a girl?
I just stopped coloring my hair for being on camera too. I just started going gray. My girlfriend was like, "Let it go gray. Let it go gray."
The gray looks good.
Thank you. But yeah,
it makes you look distinguished.
I used to have to dye my hair to be on camera, and
You have what is it? Richard Gere and
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, it's Richard Gere, and then the one that was in
with Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. You mean?
Yeah, Richard Gere, and then there's the other actor.
We're two grown men talking about Pretty Woman.
Yeah, I know.
What the?
All right. Going back to Pretty Woman, I have a marketing degree.
Okay.
And I do business coaching, and I do marketing coaching, and presentation. And you're on camera. You used to color your hair. Your presence and what you look like was important, right? Mm-hmm. So you worked out. You had to look a certain part. And I always reference Pretty Woman in business consulting. And I'm going to tell you why. Julia Roberts was $100 an hour hooker. But with clothes and makeup and hair and a good attitude and confidence, she turned into a $2,000 hooker. Same woman, just different presentation. That's marketing.
As we say in racing, it's all about the presentation.
All about the presentation.
If you make it look big, people are going to think that.
Right. But think about that in a marketing standpoint. If you run a business and you look like you have a dirty shop, and you look like you have a dirty showroom, and you look like the people that work there haven't bathed in 2 weeks, and they're smoking cigarettes, and they go, "Can I help you?"
Right.
They're expecting $100 transaction.
Right. It doesn't look professional.
Well, just maybe not necessarily the customer wants professional. They want $100 transaction. Someone going into the Bronx and like the Harlem or whatever I don't even know New York or California or LA or whatever, but like the worst parts of the area where you got street corner girls, $50, $100, whatever. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. Right. But then you go to the classy Beverly Hills and you go to the Manhattan and you go to like the really good Richie areas and you got those and you're like, damn, nice dress, nice heels, nice hair, nice nails. I just had a friend of mine on yesterday, Jaffe. He used to be a promoter for nightclubs and did events. And he's now the general manager of the men's club. And he says that he gets 10 to 15 girls a day coming in and auditioning to be a stripper.
Wow.
Or a adult female entertainer. Okay. And their requirement is when you come in, you have to look the part. Hair's done, nails done, clothes, tan, makeup. You have to look like you're going in a Hollywood studio and going to be on stage in front of an audience.
Ready for a photo shoot.
Ready for a photo shoot every time you walk in this door. And if they don't meet that profile, then he has to kick them out. He says out of 10 to 15, he might pick at a whole month. He said over 300 girls come in. He might pick 2 to 5. I mean, that is incredible numbers. So if you go to the men's club in Charlotte, North Carolina, they've been hand-selected, hand-picked. All of them are single, by the way. They're not, but they're single.
Right.
Because they're actresses.
Right.
So understand when you walk in the men's
hired
club,
guns.
they're
We also
hired actresses. They're going to look good. They're going to make you feel good. And they're going to have you a great experience there. And I'm almost looking forward. I haven't been in years and years and years, but I'm looking forward to going for lunch. They have a really good dinner. They have a really good lunch. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go check out these girls because hopefully they look top notch.
I may have frequented the men's club once or twice.
Yeah. Haven't been in a long time.
And it has the reputation of being
elegant,
a high-end place.
Classy.
And the food is excellent.
Excellent food.
It is.
10 o'clock, we'd get out of movies years ago. I'd get out of the movies. It'd be like 10:30. You know, all the restaurants are about to close. And we would leave and go over there and, I would get a steak dinner at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience.
Yeah, but it's very well. I think it's one of the few 4-star restaurants or something like that in Charlotte.
It's crazy.
But like you said, it's
hey, Men's Club,
about,
I get a free entry off the Prime spot here on the podcast.
Jaffe, if you're listening.
Yeah, Jaffe, put my name down on the list. I'm not paying $10 to get in.
But okay, so with my show, okay, the Derek Pernesiglio show, okay, we have no budget, no money, or anything like that. But we have good quality people involved in the show that make it look good.
Right.
And we have a lot of high-end production put into it. So the presentation of the show looks great. I don't make a friggin' dime off the show, or anything. But the presentation of it looks professional because we are trying to market and sell the show to a network.
Your show looks fantastic.
Thank you.
I looked at it. It was, the 3 seconds driving on the way here. I saw it. It was
3 seconds.
Well, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Spotify, whatever it is. I have a 3 to 5 second attention span. I'm sorry. I gave you 3 seconds.
I appreciate that.
No, I watched it for a while. It was actually very well. The first minute and a half, 2 minutes were just, you lured me in. It was almost, if I could give some critique, it was almost too busy at first. I felt like it was too much action. It was like I was going to an action movie theater and I saw like boom, 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 bow.
Oh, you mean the beginning, the opening credit?
Yeah, it was just a little bit fast for me.
That's why.
But that's speed. But see, I'm not in NASCAR, so I'm not in the racing scene. So for me, I'm like, hey, this is Mike Burke. You're on the Real Talk Show. Yours is more fast paced and mine's more chill. So I don't know if that's wrong or
no,
anything, but it did catch my attention.
And I get what you're saying. The producer who works with me on the show, his thing is I'm following his direction too.
Sure.
Because their thing is we can make it look pretty. You provide the content.
Love it.
So I said, okay, fine. They're like, we'll make it look pretty. He's like, let me produce you. I said, okay, fine. He goes, you want to just get right into it right away. You don't want to sit there with a long intro and, hey, this is this person with this 30-second spiel. You want to say, hey, this is Derek Pernesiglio. We're on today with Mike Burke from Sunstoppers, and how you doing, man? And then just get right. He said, just get right into the show. He's like, don't waste any time. The end graphic is quick, and then get right into it.
You've got 25 years experience of being on camera. I did this podcast more for my personal self-growth. So I don't want to monetize. I don't care if I monetize this. I don't care if I make money off this show or not. It really is. I've told this many times. I used to be a horrible listener. I'm ADD times 1,000. I will sit down and think of 3,000 things I'm supposed to be doing every minute. I'm bird, go, here, there. So to be able to sit and stay calm and look someone in the eye and get to know that person, I have a hard time making friends. I do, personally. I have a very hard time making friends.
Me too. A lot of acquaintances.
Oh, I have thousands of acquaintances.
Right.
I have friends all over the world. But here's the thing that bothers me the most. I'll turn my phone on Friday afternoon. Never off, right? 5 o'clock Friday afternoon to Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. I don't get one single phone call from anybody ever that invites me to do anything. Ever. I don't ever get a phone call that says, "Hey Mike, I miss you. You're my boy. I'm going out on the boat this weekend. I need you to come over. I miss you. I want to see you. Let's go have a beer. Let's go have pizza. Let's go watch a game." I'm always the one that instigates any activity that anything needs to be done in my life. Like if I want someone to go do something with me, I instigate it. I call it. Mm-hmm. It used to bother me really bad years ago, where I went like probably months. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't call anybody. I didn't bug anybody. I didn't ask anybody to do anything. And then I woke up one day and I go, I don't like the way this is making me feel. So one day I saw a buddy of mine, Philip, going out on a boat on Facebook. And it was in the morning. He was getting the boat out. I went on Facebook. I went on Messenger and I said, "Dude, I can't wait to join you on the boat." He texted me and said, "Come on." Ain't seen him in 2 or 3 years. He used to come out to my motorcycle track. We used to have a motorcycle track on my farm where we used to race motorcycles, and we'd practice, and he'd come out there and ride because I would say, "Hey, it's open for everybody to come out and ride." Mm-hmm. I messaged him and he said, "No, we're going to be at so-and-so dock, man. Come on." I said, "I'm bringing $100 for gas and some beer or some whiskey or whatever." And he said, just bring it. Come on." Went out there. We had a blast, man. I sat out there. He has a beautiful boat. We didn't do any wake surfing because it was just way too choppy, but we ended up hanging out, riding around, listening to music. We docked with like 3 or 4 other boats in like this little cove, hung out playing country music with rafts and sitting in there with like little floaties. I left there going, man, I had a great day. So I'm sitting here self-reflecting myself going, man, no one's reaching out to me. No one's texting me. No one's calling me to say, "Hey, Mike, I want to hang out with you." I got over that and I said, you know what? If I want to do something with somebody else, it's my responsibility to call that person and say, "I want to do that with you. I see you on Facebook having a blast." I used to have UFC parties at my house where I'd have, I don't know, 30 people. I'd pay $100 or $80. I'd buy pizza. I'd make drinks. I'd entertain. I'd have all these people over on my dime. And everybody would be like, "Oh man, I'd love to hang out, man. I ain't seen you in a while, blah, blah, blah." And then I would turn around and get on Facebook the next day, on Sunday, and I would look at their feeds and I would go, "Dude, I wanted to go on the boat with you. I wanted to go do that with you, man." And then I would see them having a cookout or something out the next weekend, and I'd be like, I didn't get an invite. I didn't get a call. Right. And it used to really eat at me. And I'm sitting there going, I will invite these people, and they'll always say they miss me. They always say they want to be around me. They all say they want to hang out with me. But they never return the invite. Why is that? Why do people are like that? Is it just me being me and going, damn, I'm weird. I shouldn't think that way?
We could probably sit at this table all day discussing the universe and why why the people do that.
Why do they do what they do?
I don't know. I mean, I have 1 or 2 friends that call I have a buddy named Chauncey. He lives in Washington D.C. and he calls me every once in a while, checks in on me and everything because he had lost his mom recently too, so he checks on me, asks me how I'm doing. But I've known him forever. Really great guy. He drops in every once in a while to check on me. And maybe 1 or 2 friends here and there, but I get what you mean. And I wish I could answer that question for you. I really do. I don't
have
get
the same
it either.
problem?
Yeah, because sometimes I wonder, like, is it me? Is it something that I'm doing?
Well, I ran into a friend one day, and I asked him, I said, "Dude, why don't you ever call me and invite me to do anything?" You know what he said? "I thought you're always too busy." My life on Facebook and Instagram just looks like I'm traveling the world. I'm in London, I'm in Germany, I'm in San Francisco, I'm in Texas, and I'm all over. And they're like, "Bro, you're everywhere. I thought you were just so freaking busy." And I am busy. Right. I do have a busy lifestyle. Right. But I'm never too busy for what I think is important. This is what I told a friend one day. I said, nothing in this world is ever more important than what I think is the most important thing. So I can wake up in the morning and I could have a podcast with you. I can have 4 other people I want to meet. But I can change that schedule on a dime. If my son got in a motorcycle wreck or got in a hospital right now, and I got a phone call or a text saying, an hour ago, I need to go, my whole day will be cleared. And I will stop what I'm doing and go handle that situation. Right. So there's nothing more important than what you think is the most important thing for you to be doing that day. Nothing. You can change your world instantly.
I get what you mean because for me, I call it gear shifting. There's constant shifting gears to this, shift gear to that. You know, like today I'm here. Tomorrow I'm going to be out running around looking for sponsorship for Mountain Creek Speedway, the speedway that I work with and do PR for. Friday I'll probably be working over on my properties because I do own a small trailer park. You know, that's one of my other businesses.
That's gold.
What's that?
That is gold.
It's gold, but it's a lot of work. It's also babysitting.
Where's it at?
Adults that are children that are trapped in adult bodies.
So where is this at?
Kannapolis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, Kannapolis.
How many trailers?
It's not big. It's just 7 trailers. That's
7 trailers, and you own the property?
I own the whole.
Not the trailers.
It's a big. No, I own everything.
You own the trailers, everything, and you rent the whole thing out.
Lock, stock, and barrel.
Good for you, bro.
I've got a big triangle of land. It's about 6 acres.
Yeah.
And at the tip of the triangle is my house.
How many can you put in there?
I can't put any more because of the town.
So you have 7, and you live in the back?
I live in the front of the property.
Okay.
And then the trailer park is behind the property.
And it's yours. You own it?
That's mine. It's my whole.
You own the land, everything?
Own the land, own everything.
Any mortgage or anything?
I do. I have a mortgage. I pay a mortgage every month,
okay.
Which isn't too bad. I'm very thankful for.
What's a trailer rent for?
What's that?
What's a trailer rent for?
It goes anywhere from like
Is it weekly or monthly?
It's monthly.
Okay.
Yep, just a monthly, and prices go anywhere from $500 to $850 a month.
Water, power.
We pay for water. You got to pay for your own power. We pay for garbage pickup. Things like that.
Mail. You have like a general mailbox.
That's United States Postal Service. That's the beauty part. We don't have to deal with any of that. So that's we tell the tenants, you got to go to the post office, go get your postal key, and deal with them because that's the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
That's not us.
People paying cash.
So cash or money order or check. It's good to have. It's nice to have because what I did was I'd worked for years in television. In 2019, I knew that the network contracts for NBC were going to come to an end, and I knew my work was going to lighten up in the next 5 years. So I'm thinking, I got to do something in the future.
The investor mindset.
Mm-hmm. I had my 401k. I took money out of my 401k and put a down payment on the property. Bought the property, and this is now my business, the rental property business. Who the hell would have known that I had bought the property, 12 months before a pandemic hit? So those, so 2020 and 21, the CARES Act was in effect. The moratorium, people weren't paying rent, and the business. The business was losing. But that was another added stress because not only did I have all of this other tragedies going on,
you had fires in your oven every day,
dude. I was getting riddled with bullets.
I'd be drinking too.
My girl, I'm telling you, God bless my girlfriend because she was the glue that kept me from coming to pieces. She really was.
Let's thank her. What's her name?
Marnie.
Thank her.
Yeah.
Marnie,
I love you, baby. I'm telling you, I'm going to marry her one day.
I know.
I am. I'm going to marry her. I love her to death. And she is the reason that I am still alive. She really is. We had to downgrade a lot. We were living in a nice house in China Grove, and then we had to get rid of that and move into an older house now in Kannapolis. But it's a bigger house, which is good. But
just needs maintenance.
Are you
a handyman? Can you fix a lot of stuff?
Some stuff, but there's a lot of stuff sometimes where I've got to call people because there's just the sheer volume.
Yeah, it's too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So we are with this move into the new house. We are hoping that is the final chapter of all of this bad shit that has previously happened. You know what I mean? So now I'm looking at just trying to go up. If this was a chart, now we've hit in the bottom. Now we're starting to go up.
I'm in your life now, bro.
So
I'm in your life.
We're
now.
just starting to move.
I'm gonna keep throwing fuel out to you. You want some racing fuel every morning? I'm gonna throw it to you, baby. Let's go. Get your ass in the gym. I'm gonna call you at 5 a.m.
Just starting to
get your ass up. Let's go.
I've gone to the gym early in the morning, and I'll give you guys credit for doing it because I did do it for a short period of time, and it does get you
6 to 8 is the window. 6 to 7 is the window. Get home, shower, eat, and be ready for your day at 8:30.
How long do you work out for?
45 minutes.
Really?
That's it.
Dude, I'm just doing my freaking warm up in 45
Nah,
minutes.
it's intensity. You got to go in, stretch for 15, work out hard for 30, one body part, two body parts. But the thing is, man, working out is your workout. It's yours. Okay, what do you want out of it? You want to get bigger? You want to get stronger? You want to get faster? You get more mobility? I want mobility. I'm already a big guy. I'm already, huge.
I'd like to get size, but it's never going to happen for me.
It can happen, okay? And
By eating a 5,000 calorie diet.
No, it can. And here's the thing, man. I don't want a negative word coming out of your mouth. I don't want one negative word, because what happens, your brain absorbs it. And when you absorb it, you're eating it. And when you eat it, you digest it. And that's what you're absorbing, and that's the fuel. Like, have you ever seen your body sweat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Your sweat is now negative. All day you're sweating negative. You need to sweat positive. You need to go and basically, when you start sweating, go and lick your arm, go, damn, I taste good. I do. I taste great. I literally, I've had women actually look at me and I'm sweating and I go, dude, do I smell? They go, no, you smell sweet. I'm not kidding. My sweat smells sweet. And it's these drinks I drink. I drink like the protein, not protein, but the amino acids with liquid IV and all these little aminos and stuff. And I think that gets in my blood system and it actually sweats out. But that drink gives me some positivity. It's got BCAAs. It's got all types of different things that are good for your body. And I start my day off drinking when I go to the gym. And I sip one all day, and it's got all these things that are supposed to make my body feel better. But mentally, when, I was talking to you earlier when we were at the cookout, and you were, I was talking about my leg and back surgery and how for years people would ask me why I'm limping and why am I walking funny. And I said, oh, well, I had back surgery, blah, blah, blah. Now, somebody asks me something, ain't no wrong with me, man. Yeah. I'm good, bro.
You were telling me
I'm
that.
fucking good, man. Yeah. Like, I'm great. I'm sore. I might be a little sore because I had a killer workout yesterday. Mm-hmm. So mentally, I have now absorbed whatever negative energy that someone's asking me a question that's going to trigger me. It's called a trigger. When it triggers me into a negative thought, I reverse it. It's almost like martial arts when you get hit or boxing. And if I'm throwing a punch at you, okay, you don't take that punch. I'm not taking it. You know how some people move sideways and they're very fast. Like, they can dodge it and move their head. I'm not moving my head. I'm just taking my right arm and I'm deflecting that punch away from me. That's what I do with negative energy. Anybody puts a negative thought or a negative statement or comes at me and says, Mike, you're an asshole. Hey, man, what are you eating this weekend for Friday night? Are you cooking out? Like, I'll ask a question randomly off the wall. Like, a guy will come to me, man, my wife is, getting on my nerves and, she's not blah, blah, blah. And I say, when are you guys going on vacation next? I will just completely ask a random good memory thought question to that person. When are you going on vacation next? Vacations make people happy. Vacations are a happy place for people. I'm going to put that guy in a happy mental state. I'm going to take his negative energy. I'm going to deflect it. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to absorb it. And I'm going to turn around and ask him a question that's going to put him in a positive mindset. And that's what I do. When I get around people who are having a bad day, I do not absorb their energy. I deflect it. I have a force field on me so strong, ain't nobody penetrating this thing. Nobody. I've earned it. I wake up in the morning and I build it. When I go to the gym every single morning, I listen to Metallica and I rage and I go crazy and I yell and I scream and I hit my steering wheel. I mindset myself that I'm going to the gym to conquer this world and conquer today. I'm going to make a difference today. If I open the door for you and I say, hey man, welcome to the gym. We're going to have a great workout today. Is that going to put you in a good mood?
I mean, I would hope so.
But the next time
there's something I'd be looking forward to.
But tomorrow, are you going to open the door for somebody else and say, hey, let's have a good workout? Maybe if I do that 3 or 4 days when I see you, if I do that, if I walk over to you on a machine and you're about to take a machine, and I was like, dude, you save me some? Did you save me some? Dude, you're killing it. Your arms look fucking huge, man. You're killing it today. That positive radiation now motivates you. Now all of a sudden, there's an old guy at the end of the gym. He's struggling, and I just gave you a pump. I just gave you, I called it as Micah. Micah, are you there?
What's up?
Hey, when you and I used to travel, what was the term that you used to use when I'd pump your ego?
You'd gas me up.
Gas you up. That's it. I'm good.
All the time.
Did I do that?
All the time.
I gassed you up. Yeah, you liked it though, right?
Yeah.
But I was genuine. I wasn't bullshitting you.
No.
I'd be gassing your ass up.
No, you'd be telling the truth.
I do tell the truth, bro. I do not lie. If you're fucking looking like shit, I'm like, bro, get your ass in the shower, shave. You look like shit, bro. You ain't gonna hang out with me looking like that. You're gonna be looking good if you're gonna hang out with me. Like I got to be looking good.
You probably would have been telling me that about a month and a half ago.
But you look great.
You'd have probably been like,
but
"You
understand
look
what
like crap."
gassing other people up does. It's not. I'm not self-promoting myself. I'm gassing other people up. I'm encouraging them to have a better day. If you want to make a difference in this world, help other people. Gas them up. You have social, problems. You had a depression. You had issues with your mom dying.
I still have.
We all do.
Issues.
I'm not Superman, bro.
None of us are.
I wake up in the morning sometimes, don't even want to even function. And I don't even know why. Half the time it'll be one little thing I thought about yesterday, and then I wake up next morning and I'm just like, I don't even want to live today. I don't even want to do anything today. I don't want to. The thing is, I have to. When too many people are counting on you, you've got to have people that are relying on you. They're in life. I have 2 kids. I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old boy. They are looking at me. They look up to me. I have to make a difference in their life. I cannot have a bad day. My kids think I'm Superman, and I will always be Superman to them. My back surgery fucked me up. I literally sat in a chair. My kids saw me on my hands and knees crawling to go pee.
I heard that you recently went bike riding with your son recently.
Oh, it was cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, we rode street bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to teach him how to ride dirt bikes when he was like 4 years old. Here I am, freaking 49, and my 17-year-old son's in a helmet. All right, Dad, there's a pothole coming up. He's like coaching me, I'm like, Days of Thunder. And, the big cloud of smoke.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he gets through the smoke.
Yep.
And I put it in 5th gear. I'm like, all right, I'm back. Let's go. But that was a good experience. I mean, here's the thing, man. It took me 5 years to get to that. But you know what? I'm getting better every day. And that mindset is the life lessons that people need to learn. I struggle. You struggle. Micah struggles. I mean, if I look like Micah, I would struggle too.
You're kidding. I wish I looked like Micah.
Me too. I mean, the guy,
he's
he's gorgeous.
Man.
I mean,
Kid's
I'm
in
not
great
gay,
shape.
but this dude is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gas me up.
What's that?
Said you're gassing
That's
me
from
up
all
right
the
now.
gassing up.
You should see his girlfriend. It was so funny. He came.
I bet she's a hottie, right?
No, she's
Come
not.
on,
No.
Nah, she's pretty hot.
No.
See?
Listen, we had a birthday party at my house, and he came to take photos. And he brought his girlfriend, and he's not a big drinker. I mean, Micah's, he partied in the day, but he's cleaned his act up. I mean, he's given his life to, a higher spirit. He's a beautiful guy inside and out. And his girlfriend, we had a really cool Bob Peters. He's like one of the best mixologists in the country. He's an amazing man. Love him to death. Just spent a couple days with him in Vermont at Whistle Pig. He's over here, and his girlfriend, I've never met her. She comes to my birthday party at 49, and she has some specialty cocktails. I'm sitting there going, there you go. You bring your girl, and she starts having some drinks at my bar, right? And I'm like, cool. And I have pictures that he took of her in my phone, right? And I'm over there showing my friends, I think when I was in Texas or whatever, and I was scrolling through, and I said, oh, man, you should see the pictures of Bob. We made some cool drinks, and we opened up some Pappy Van Winkle and some real rare tequilas, and I'm over there scrolling through the pictures, and I'm like, who's that?
Uh-huh.
I was like, what do you mean? They go, who's that? And I go, that's a videographer and one of my really close friends, Micah's girlfriend. Holy cow. And I said, yeah, that's what I said when I met her too.
See, I knew it.
That's what everybody says.
Good for you, dude.
Hey,
more power to you. Awesome.
He outdid himself.
Yeah.
But you know what the problem is? And I'm not going to down anyone I've ever dated in my life. Never. Because I love them all. Every girl I've ever dated in my life, I love them all. I still love them all. But they did not look like that. And that's the girl that it's one of those situations where I am a big dude and I do work out and I'm mentally tough, physically tough. But that's the girl you worry about, because when you go to the mall and she goes to the mall with her friends and her girlfriends, every guy in the mall is checking her out. He's over there shaking his head.
It's true though.
Yeah. One of those girls that's
I love it.
one of those
You
girls
love it?
that's one of those girls that's so hot when she stands around others, she makes them look ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of them.
See, I dated a couple of those girls, and those girls broke my heart. A couple of those girls, unfortunately, did like other men more than me. and I got hurt by him. So I scaled down, and I said, I'm going to go safer, because I feel like when you have a 10, it's too much for a man to actually handle. I know Micah's, I'm only talking shit about him, but his girlfriend is beautiful inside and out. I mean, she's a 10, but when you meet her, she's approachable. She's nice. She's spiritual. She's kind. She's gentle, and she'll hold a conversation with you. And she doesn't think that she's too good for anybody. She'll talk to anybody, which is down to earth, which is a beautiful person inside and out. You meet really, really, really gorgeous, people, and they just think they're better than someone else. That ooh, who are you? Like, why are you talking?
Right.
She probably in her mind thinks she's a 7. Okay. And that in her mind, but every man on the planet's told her she was a 10. But you meet really attractive women. I've done this study many times where you'll meet a 10. They're gorgeous. They work out. They're personable, but they're hard on themselves.
Or they have no personality because they get by on their looks.
But they're hard on themselves. It seems like when I find a very, very attractive woman, like super attractive, they're hard on themselves. They work out all the time. They're telling, oh man, I'm fat. Oh, I need to lose some weight, or, oh, I need to work on this, or my hair. They're finding things wrong with themselves. And they're critical of themselves. It's hard, but you meet a girl that's like a 6, a little chubby, doesn't care. She'll be like, "Nah, I'm a 10, baby." She'll just own that shit.
Right.
You've seen that too.
Man, I have dated women. I have dated women over the years that were absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but had those things, those insecurities that you were talking about. And then I've dated regular girl next door types that had great personalities, and that made them super hot. So. It's
you know what I think super hot now?
It depends on the person.
I think an intelligent woman is super hot.
Yeah, I think one that you can communicate with and get along with. Like my girlfriend and I think we have the best relationship. We make fun of each other. We bust each other's chops.
Love it.
We make each other bust a
Just
freaking
laugh all
gut
day long.
laughing. Yeah, I mean, we're constantly crack jokes at one another.
Yeah.
We both have the same twisted, dirty sense of humor.
I love it.
So so like we can share like those funny things.
So how many podcasts have you done so far?
Have I done?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Have you done this for a year, 2 years? How long have you had a podcast?
How long have I had a podcast?
Yeah.
About a year now.
About a year?
About
you
a
do
year
one
now.
a week?
We do one a week. We had to slow down for a little while because the production company, they have their other stuff. Because like I said, we don't have no budget to work with or nothing like that. So we have to do everything on our free time.
Right.
So the production company that I do the show with, which is Mad Toy Box Creative.
And who is this? Who's the...
Guy's name is Chris Stevens. He used to be the creative director for NASCAR Media Group.
Okay.
He gave them their original look and style in the early 2000s.
Oh, cool.
He left the company years ago to start his own deal, and now he does stuff for the Carolina Panthers, the Checkers.
And he's a friend of yours?
Founders Credit Union. All the AAA commercials you see on television are all done by him. I worked on a lot of those.
And he
AAA.
comes to your studio and does the podcast?
I go to his place.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I go to his studio. And that's where we do the podcast. Really super creative guy. Emmy award-winning producer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's won
Micah.
2 Emmys.
When are you going to be award-winning?
Hopefully next year. That'd be awesome. I had a few friends go to the Emmys this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I told you, this kid right here is...
Racing docs, actually.
I don't need to
Awesome.
gas him up when he's the man. Micah is absolutely the man. I'm so fortunate to have met him. He's been one of the key components to a lot of success that we've had. His vision, his editing skills. He's an amazing guy.
You need those people, too.
Absolutely.
You do. You definitely need those tech people.
You absolutely.
Like I said,
They're so important.
I used to be like Micah, but the technology changes so fast, so much in this business now.
He's young. He's young. He can handle it. He's always evolving. He'll call me up next week. Hey, man, we need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, okay. Like, he could tell me I need to get a spaceship green and put it in the studio because everybody's, tweeting green today.
Right.
Like,
right.
I would do it. But, our vision of podcasts are different. Mine is for myself, for self-growth. It's also, I like you. I think you're a great guy. I think to be able to sit in a room that you can talk for an hour and a half with no cell phone, no TV, no distractions. I can get to know you. I know who you are, what you do, your history, your background, your loves, your passions. And we meet again when we hang out at another cookout or wherever we hang out. I'm going to feel closer to you. I'm going to feel
Right.
like we have a better connection. I'm going to feel like we have something in common now. I feel like we just, broke bread.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important to me. If I want to be a better friend to people, I need to be able to listen to them. I need to be able to understand them. I need to be a better friend to them. I used to always
Do
try.
you think you're not a good friend to people?
I'm a very good friend to people. I am. I'm too good. I'm too good.
Okay.
My expectations sometimes get unmet. So I'm so good to people. If you're a friend of mine, my problem is, and I don't even know if it's a problem, I give too much advice.
You give too much
I
advice?
give way too much advice. I look at people, and I am a consultant mentally. I look at everyone's life and I want to fix them. I have a problem trying to fix things. In my mind, I can go, okay, well, I'm processing, all right, how can I help this guy? How can I help this girl? How can I help this situation? I have what's called a Superman, Batman complex. And I didn't know this until I've actually worked on myself and I've actually trying to get to know myself better. And what it is some tragedies, and not tragedies, but just upbringings and different things mentally, things that I've battled with that not many people have known, that I've worked through, that I've gotten over, and I've been very hard on myself. But I've also been so determined and so focused on becoming better. I just want to become a better person. I want to become a better friend. I want to be more knowledgeable. I want to read more books. I want to be well spoken. I want to be very diverse. I want to be able to have more manners. I want to be polite to people. I want to make a difference. And what happens is not everybody wants to be that. Everybody is not me. And what I have to understand is when someone's having a problem, I can't always fix it. Sometimes I just need to listen. I just need to be there for them. Mm-hmm. Because when you see a guy that's drinking at the bar, who's a friend or not a friend, he's not trying to fix his life. He's trying to do what's called I'm not going to use the word diarrhea, but it's like a verbal vomit of his life. And he's trying to get it out. He's trying to get you to have empathy for him or agree with him that his life is shit. He's going down a path that he's not happy with, and he wants you to jump on that bandwagon.
Misery loves company.
And I am a fucking positive person. I wake up positive. I wake up happy. I can't wait to attack the day. I can't wait to meet new people. I can't wait to make a difference every single day.
See, I need to hang out with more people like you, because being that army of one, when you get the shit beat out of you, it is hard to find that self-confidence building again, because you feel like you're a beaten man.
Okay, well, look in the mirror.
When
when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I want you to say about yourself. I want you to say this with me. I have perfect hair.
Even after waking up, huh?
Yeah. Walk in the mirror.
I have perfect hair.
Okay, I'm bald.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have your
You
hair.
have perfect hair, too.
I would love to have your hair. Okay, so if I could find one thing that I'm envious of you, is I wish I had your fucking hair. Okay? So me, big guy, you look at me and go, damn, I wish I could look like you. I wish I had your fucking hair.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't have hair. And that's not by choice. It's because I'm bald.
I hear you.
Okay?
I don't have the arms that you have, so
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I wish I had the size that you do.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. Until you turn around and look in the mirror and say something positive about yourself, that's the kind of day you're going to have. Mm-hmm. If you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and go, oh man, I look like shit. Well, guess what kind of day you're going to have? A shitty fucking day.
Well, in the morning, in the morning, usually I wake up and I say, what do I have to get done today?
Okay.
That's usually the question I always ask myself is, what do I have to do today? What do I have to get done?
There's your biggest mistake.
Why? Because I look at that as attacking or getting things done, getting goals done, or getting work done.
No. It's one word that I need you to change.
Okay.
Say what you just said again.
What do I have to work on today?
What do you have to work on? Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rephrase that word. What do I choose to do today?
Okay.
Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
What are you choosing to do today? It's not a have to.
Right.
You don't have to do anything. There's no fire burning. There's no police on the way right now. Who's dying right now?
Right.
Why can you not slow down and focus and say, what do I choose to do today?
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's words.
Well, like you said, being that ADD type of
Sure.
personality, it's sometimes it's hard to focus.
100%.
It is. It's hard to focus.
But here's the thing. Find one thing that you choose today. Choose it. Say, I'm going to choose to wake up in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to choose to work on me. That's what I want you to do one day. I don't care what day it is. I don't care if it's Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock, whatever. Look in the mirror and say, I'm choosing to put me first. No one else. And I'm going to work on me. Okay? And you find one or two or three things that you want to work on. Okay? If you want to be a better friend and make more friends, text more people. I wake up in the morning sometimes now because I had these problems. I had these things that I thought about going, man, I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody that's reaching out to me. I don't have anybody that's texting me. And I was, woe is me. Well, guess what? That was the mindset that I was choosing. I was choosing to say those words to myself. Mm-hmm. Now I'm choosing to wake up on Sunday morning. Who do I choose that is lucky enough to hang out with me today? I'm choosing somebody. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to text 5 people, and the first one that responds is get to hang out with me today. Now it's a game. Who can respond to me quick enough? I'm not choosing to go down a path of, well, nobody wants to talk to me today. I'm choosing to wake up going, who is going to be lucky enough to hang out with me today? Because I'm going to bring whiskey. I'm going to bring a good attitude. I'm going to bring good music. I'm going to bring good spirit, good energy, and I'm going to make their fucking day. You're going to hang out with me, Mike motherfucking Burke. You're going to hang out with a cool-ass dude who's going to have a great time today. I'm going to have a smile on my face, and we're going to laugh, we're going to cut up, and we're going to make fun of everything in the world.
Your attitude is inspirational. It really is, especially at this point of my life, because this is probably one of the best things that I've needed in a while. Was just to hear that from somebody that wasn't on a motivational tape or something like that.
Yeah, this is raw.
Because
this is just me.
Yeah, well, that's when I was listening to you talking at the cookout the other night, and I was like, this guy is, he's got shit going on. He's got that mental strength that I am working on and trying to develop myself. And I sat back going, I could learn from this guy, which is another reason why I kind of like gravitated towards you. And then you said you had the podcast, and I was like, okay, well, that's something that we can share and chat and talk about. And it just started rolling from there. And you were like, you got to come on my show. So here we are.
Well, I saw a picture. You sent me your podcast, and I was like, man, this is cool. It's well produced, well done. And I said, man, he's talking on the microphone. He's going to be great, because most of the guys I have on the podcast, they'll start talking in the microphone, and they'll lean back, and next thing I'm like, come back to the microphone. Isn't that right, Micah?
All the time.
All the time.
Except
Micah.
when you yell or you cough. Except when you yell or you cough. You yell, you gotta.
Yeah, you gotta yell.
Just like the singers, when
It's all
they
good.
hit that high note.
But here's the thing.
Excuse me.
I don't wake up trying to be a motivational person. Okay? I don't wake up trying to be an inspiration. I don't try to do anything. I don't try. I choose. There's a difference. I don't try to do anything. I don't try. Hey, man, I need you to come over for a cookout and hang out at my bar. And you're going to tell me, I'll try to make it. I'm going to try to make it. There's a 90% probability that you're not coming.
Oh, right.
But you're going to give me a 10% try in there. So I'm going to think, how many people are coming? I'm getting a head count. How many pizzas do I need to order? Blah, blah, blah. Well, what's his name say he's going to try to make it. So, and he's a +1, so maybe order another pizza and we'll get that one and blah, blah, blah. No, man. Just look at me and say, look, there's 80% chance I'm not going to make it because of this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. There's a 20% chance that that's going to fall through because I had made temporary plans. If these plans fall through, there's a 20% chance they will. And if they do, then we will come. But don't tell me you're going to try to make it. I don't want to try. I want the percentage. Mm-hmm. I want the real percentage. That's what I want.
Okay, I get that.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, I mean, it also comes down to honesty, too. If you got something going on, let them know you got something going on.
Don't try to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Hurt them.
Right.
You're going to hurt my feelings by not coming.
Somebody told me the other night, they said, if you do something that you say you're going to do, that builds integrity. integrity earns you respect. So if you are going to do something for someone, do it. Like if you, I'm the type of person that if I say I'm going to do something for someone,
100%.
I do it. If I'm going to call you, I call. If I'm going to be somewhere for a gig, I'm there.
100%.
So
live and die by that.
Right. I mean,
Just live and die.
I was learned from a long time ago, because it happens a lot in the production business, because if you don't do the work, the video doesn't get produced. So you've got to do the work.
I'm going to give my mom a shout out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my mom told me this. I'm just going to give her credit for this one. In life, you have your credit and your word. And if you lose one or the other, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what she said. But I'm going to give you my version. Your credit allows someone to believe in you, to give you a loan or give you money, because they are vouching that the fact that you're going to pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you have good credit and you have someone that will vouch for you that your word is gold, that you do what you say you're going to do, people will believe in you. And you can go anywhere in this world and accomplish anything that you want to accomplish, as long as you have those two. You have good credit. That means people will loan you money for ideas and business opportunities and things that you want to do. And you got to have someone to vouch for you in life. I've got to go and say, dude, it's like the mafia movies. You're Italian. You've seen The Godfather. And you know when a guy goes, he's one of us.
Right.
What does that mean? You're one of us.
He's one of the family.
He's one of the family.
One of the family.
I'm vouching for you.
He's a good fella.
He's a good fella.
He's a good fella.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what mafia is. That means,
I know.
I mean, describe a mafia, right? That's
It's
vouching.
respect.
It's respect.
Yep. It's knowing a system. You know, it's, you know, you have your
Hierarchy.
Right. It's very pyramid shape, where you have your Don, and then under him are your capos, and, you know, your I forgot what they call them, not henchmen, but soldiers.
Soldiers,
you know,
lieutenants.
yeah. Not that I know anything about that.
Sure,
you know.
of course not. Italian? No. New York? No, I don't know a thing about it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I know. I used to get that a lot when I had first moved down here. They'd look at my last name. Y'all ain't from around these parts, is you? So I was at the track one night. I was just standing there looking the way I do, you know, and one guy looks at me and goes, come on, tell me honestly, you're in the program, aren't you? I'm like, what do you got in your mind?
Yeah.
Like, no.
No, just say, you know, Vinny's going to come see you next week.
I should have told him. I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, you haven't seen me.
Yeah.
That's what I should have told him.
Listen, I'm not supposed to be
Anyone
here.
asks.
I got people looking for me. See, that was me when I was in prison. I got people looking for me. I mean, I'm just saying, when you say little words like that, where you know that these people are going to like give you some props or something, you just say, yeah, like, you know, you do have people looking for you. Your mom, your dad.
I got a question for you, though.
Yep.
How do you find your self-motivation? How do you wake up in the morning every day and say, okay, I'm going to wake up and kick this day's ass? Because, I mean, I wake up and I look at what is the work that is before me that has to get done. I mean, how do you change your mindset to, you know, because I'm terrible about waking up in the morning. That's the other thing too. But when I'm finally up,
Yep.
you know, it takes a little while for the blood to get flowing. That's why I don't go to the gym until a little bit later after the blood gets flowing, and then I'll go in.
How do I stay
out.
motivated?
How do you wake up and go, today is the day everything's going to kick ass?
It's a choice. It's a choice. You choose to have a drink to bury your sorrows and your depression and your anxiety. You choose to put alcohol in your body, right? I choose to have a better mindset than the guy next to me. I'm in competition with myself, but I'm also in competition to win. And there's only one way to win. And there's only one way to win in this world, and that's to outwork everyone else. And if you don't put the work in, you're not going to be successful.
You know, I've been hustling in this business for 20-something years. The goal has always, for me, been to do a NASCAR Cup Series race on TV.
Okay.
You know, or at least one of the top three, Cup,
Right.
Xfinity, or Trucks. Hasn't happened yet. I don't think it's I don't think it's going to.
Okay.
I've hit a glass ceiling in my career.
Okay.
Like, I've gone as high as I'm going to go. how can I explain this? The new goal, I should say, is to create my own brand. There's certain goals that I know I'm going to work my ass off at that it'll never going to happen. Like those, because it's an elite club right about now. It's an elite club that's going to be getting on to do those races, and I'm not in it, and I know that. But what I'm looking to do is increase my brand and my reputation in this business.
Okay.
I like to think that I have a solid reputation in
Okay.
this business. But
All right, your mindset is wrong.
my mindset is wrong.
100%.
But,
We've got to change your
but
mindset.
I work my ass off.
No, you didn't.
man.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't work your ass off because you didn't accomplish your goal. You didn't do everything it takes. You weren't hungry enough. You were waiting for it to come to you. You didn't go to it. You weren't hungry enough. If you were hungry enough, you would go in the dumpster and dig for food. You were never hungry enough. Someone was feeding you enough to make you content. You were doing just enough gigs to stay content. You were doing just enough broadcasting to say, my opportunity is coming next. You never wait for your opportunity. You make your opportunity.
No, I understand that.
But here's the thing.
There have been a lot of opportunities
I
I've made for
understand.
myself over the years.
I get it.
'Cause I could show you a resume list a mile long.
I understand. But you still were not hungry enough. And here's what I mean by that. And I'm only going to go down. I just met you not too long ago. I don't know that much about your past and your resume. But I can see that you're a hardworking man. I can see you're dedicated. I can see what you're doing towards this podcast. I can see your passion. I can see your drive. I can see the flame that's not quite as high as it needs to be. But there is a flame inside of you. I saw it. It's there. You just need somebody to put some fuel on it. And that's why you met me. And now you want to be close to me because I'm going to fuel the shit out of you. I'm going to gas. Michael,
Fuel
what do you
me
say?
up.
He's gonna gas you up.
I'm going to
Gas
gas
me up,
your
fuel
ass
me
up,
up.
bro. Because here's the thing. I personally, what I tell you earlier.
You may, I mean, there is a point to what you're talking about.
But I'll get to this real quick. I have a Superman, Batman, Spider-Man complex. I want to be a superhero. In my mind, I don't need money. In my mind, I don't need gratification. In my mind, I go to bed at night knowing I made a difference. I made a difference. That is what fuels me. You ask me what motivates me. There's too many people out here that don't have the mindset I do. So it's my responsibility to give the people the fuel they need to get there.
I went through most of my career not appreciating what was going on in the moment. I do. Looking back now, because I've been on air for 15 years, and I had done a lot of the NASCAR divisions leading up to, the Cup Series. And I sit back now, not being on air, going, I should have enjoyed those years more because I got to do what a lot of young kids sitting at home right now
Wish they could do. Dream
of what I can do.
100%.
And I spent more time chasing airplanes, waking up at the ass crack of dawn, chasing taxis to get to this flight and that flight, and then, dropping off footage, and to not really enjoy the moment, and there's a part of me that wants to get back to that just so I can enjoy it again.
Right.
It's almost addictive.
It's a
like
high that you're
drug.
looking for. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a drug. I love it. I know no other thing to do.
But here's the thing. We can get there again.
That's what I'm hoping for with the show that I'm doing. I'm
Okay.
hoping to build this to where
Right.
it becomes a viable product.
But with the right team, the right support, the right fuel, you're going to get around the track and you're going to win. But you got to set the goal a little win at a time. Most people set goals too big and they fail, and then they go into depression, they go into anxiety, and then they go into a rut, and then they never dig themselves out. You got to take a win every day. The win is you woke up. The win is you're still alive. The win is you have a roof over your head. The win is you have a car that drove here. The win is that you have enough money in the bank to go to dinner tonight. You have a win every day. You just have to mentally figure out what that win is. You own a fucking trailer park, dude. That's incredible. I'm just saying, that's awesome. You're a businessman. You're an investor. So I want you to get up and thank yourself. You said you, in the moment, didn't take enough time to reflect back in the moment.
And appreciate
it. Well, guess what? How many people own a trailer park?
Yeah.
How many people live in an apartment paycheck to paycheck and don't even know if they got enough money next month to go out to dinner? What I'm saying is that you need to take a win every day. And when the wins stack up, you're a winner. So every day, take a win. Find something today that's a win. Mentally, say, I won today. So when you wake up tomorrow, you can win tomorrow. And when you wake up the next day, you can win the next day.
Well, coming on the show is definitely a win today.
Good.
For sure, because I'm getting what you're giving me is an outside set of eyes to see the world, or an outside set of eyes to look inwards. Some of the things that you've said, and it's that thing that I'm looking for. Like I said, like the pride comes before the fall. Well, the fall has happened now, so now I'm trying to build.
You're digging your way out.
There's
only one way up now.
Right. So, and that's the other thing that I've told people. It's like I've lost this. I said, so that right now there's nowhere to go but up.
Sure.
And everyone's like, oh, I'm amazed.
How many NASCAR drivers have you had on your show?
A bunch.
Who?
Yeah. Brett Bodine, Travis Quapple, Mike Bliss, Andy Seiss.
Do you ever go to let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people that do mobile podcasts. You ever thought about getting a mobile studio? Go to their race shop?
Thought about that, but
go interview people at the race shop. Can you do that?
Thought about that, but the type
Start
of
your
show,
own production. Start your own everything. Start your own content.
That's what we're doing
in addition to the podcast.
Well, that's what we're doing with this show.
Like if I was to tune in and you went into a garage and started interviewing a mechanic at the garage, how long does it take you to build a motor? I don't know. Let me go interview the guy.
Right. I understand.
I'd like to know that. Mm-hmm. I'd like to say, how long does it take a motor to be changed from a car? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know that either. Like, what I'm saying is I don't have a lot of knowledge of NASCAR. Mm-hmm. If you want to get me, I'm only...
Racing, not just NASCAR. It's racing.
Okay, racing. Let me be very clear. Racing. All right. I'm not a huge race fan. Right. I like motocross because my son used to race motocross, and that's the only reason I know a lot about it is because we were doing it. Mm-hmm. It gets dizzy in your blood. It's addicting as hell. I liked it way more than my son did. He just wanted to be social and ride his bike and have fun. And I took all the fun away trying to be competitive. And thank God we don't race anymore because it about broke us.
You're competitive though, right?
Super competitive.
Me too.
I mean, I'm very competitive.
I'm competitive with a little man syndrome though, because I have gone through my entire life always being made to feel not good enough. So I am super competitive from being real young, which stems back to childhood shit.
Let me ask you a question.
What's that?
If I dropped something on the floor and it went underneath the bed, you'd be able to get it quicker than me.
Okay.
But I'm saying there's so many advantages. Like, I mean, there's so many more advantages. You're quicker, you're faster, you can run stairs faster, you can drive a car. I get in a car, I'm uncomfortable. Like, you take the wins. What I'm trying to say is, as a little man, bro, there's so many things you can do better than me. So many. I could list 100. You need to find that win. You're not a little man. You're a strong man that happens to be shorter than most. But you're not a little man.
I appreciate that.
You're not. I did not look at you like you were a little man when you met me. I didn't look at you go, oh, look at this little man. No. I looked at a man. I looked in your eyes. I looked in your face. And I looked at you. I didn't even judge you. Like, what I'm saying is you see yourself in a way that you need to change. I still see myself as a fat kid. I still see a fat kid. I look in the mirror and I'm like, I got to go to the gym. I got to work out. I got to look good. I got to go work out and get lean. I never, ever, ever, ever want to be fat ever again. Ever.
Well, I get that because, like you, I was bullied in school. I was one of the smallest, scrawniest kids in school.
Sure.
Picked on, put down, always picked last for whatever sports that were there. So I never played sports in school. I was not athletic at all.
Right.
I was terrible. So it was always being made to feel not good enough.
Right. Oh, I know that feeling.
Which stems back to even like with, growing up in an Italian family, you grow up in an Italian family. The firstborn is number one son, okay? And the first daughter is daddy's little girl. So I was kind of in a weird spot. So my nickname was the other guy. So, which kind of maybe started the whole stemming of the not being good, not being made to feel good enough.
You weren't number one son.
That and you know, just all of the other things, the bullying, the being pushed on, the being picked on, you know,
Yep.
being small, skinny, scrawny, weak, and it all adds up over time. And you know, it's those insecurities that are still existing today, and it drives me fucking nuts, man.
I know. I understand.
Which stems from the social anxiety, you know, the social awkwardness, and all that.
But you have fucking perfect hair.
I have perfect hair.
See?
So fuck everyone else.
Exactly.
I got perfect hair.
So we need to go get the hair product line on your podcast. No kidding. So you need to go reach out
it's actually not a bad idea.
Exactly.
That's not a bad idea.
100%. You need to comb your hair and say, man, the hair gel that I use at so-and-so, and do a promo. Do a promo video of hair product that you use and send that video with your production company to that company and just tell them you want free product. And just don't even ask for money. Just say, I want free product. And then they like it so much, then they're actually going to call you, and maybe when they figure out that you're actually someone that's been on camera, next thing you know, you could be a model for hair club. Because guess what? They're going to do face up. They're not going to see that you're 5'9" or 6" or whatever you are, right?
Yeah, true.
They're going to be looking at your hair. What I'm saying is, you've got to find the win.
Right.
You got to find the win for you. Okay? I mean, I watch WWE, I watch wrestling, I watch UFC, I watch Conan the Barbarian. I always knew that if you had big muscles, nobody messed with you. If you had big muscles and you went to the gym and you worked out, you were a tough guy.
That's why I worked out, because I was thinking at some point I was going to get bigger and nobody was going to screw with me.
But you could put on 30 pounds of muscle and you would look freaking diesel. You could do it. The thing is, you could. But that's not important to where your career's going.
Right.
That's your self-esteem.
Right.
You can slowly do that in your life. You can slowly make an improvement in your body every day. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the problem with fat people. They go to the gym, they want to lose 50 pounds tomorrow. You're not going to go to the gym, insert less fork. It's fast. It's diet. If you go to Micah, you've been working out forever, right?
A good bit, yeah.
What'd you tell me when I wanted to get leaner? What'd you tell me? It's all diet.
Yeah, it's usually just calorie in, calorie out.
Calorie in, calorie out, right? If you want to gain weight, it's calorie in, calorie in.
If you burn more calories than you take in a day, you're going to lose weight.
100%.
I just actually recently went plant-based about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And I went from 173 pounds down to 148.
Yep.
And that was weight. That wasn't muscle or anything like that. But I can honestly say, switching to a vegetarian / plant-based diet, I don't have the stomach issues that I used to.
Right.
My head is clearer,
Yep. Yes.
a lot clearer. I bounce back faster and easier when I get sick or if I get hurt at something. And
Mike, are you hearing this? Are you a plant-based diet?
100% no.
Okay. Yeah, but you're 23 and look like a god.
but just I started researching it because I ran into a guy that had stage 4 cancer, and we got to talking, and he looked great. He looked, just as good as Micah does, and I said, I'm like, you have stage 4 cancer? What are you doing? And he said, I went plant-based. He says, I'm taking the most aggressive, hardest chemotherapy you can take, and the doctor tells me every other patient is bedridden. He's like, I'm up, I'm walking around, I got all my hair still. He's like, because I went plant-based. He was telling me, stop eating meat. And I tried it. He said, just do it for 3 weeks. He's like, and I'm telling you, you're going to feel better. So I did. I tried it for just 3 weeks, and I did. I started to feel better. The pounds started melting off, and I started feeling the circulation improves too. Your sexual performance also improves too. I noticed that, as I get closer to my 50s.
Wow.
So yeah, that was also a big one. And I was really surprised on how, the clothes that I used to, I could fit in now from when I was in college.
Right.
So that was a surprise. So I recently went plant-based. Not 100%. I try to lean as much as I can towards it. But yeah, I did. I changed my diet up, and I like to think that helped me a lot.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I like to eat a steak on Sundays. I cook steak for the kids every Sunday. That's family night. That's my, like, dad knows. It's funny because now my son brings a kid. Now the other kids, and now I've adopted more kids on Sunday night because they all know.
So your grandfather?
No.
Oh.
I've adopted more kids because my kids invite friends over
because
they know dad's cooking steak.
Gotcha.
And so anyway.
Don't get me wrong. I love a steak too.
Yeah.
I
so
really
Sundays,
do.
that's it. I eat one steak a week.
Right.
I'm not a huge red meat person. I eat a little bit of chicken, fish a lot. I do eat a lot of fish, vegetables. You know, my diet's pretty simple. I eat a lot of breakfast. I love breakfast. Eggs, man. I can eat 10 eggs a day.
See, instead of like bacon and eggs, I lean towards oatmeal and fruit.
Gotcha.
You know,
I don't like oatmeal.
So it's not bad. Yeah. You know, you put some peanut butter in it. Or,
I do love bacon though. Gotta have my bacon. I'm a bacon guy.
Gotta have the bacon,
dude. There's no reason for you to ever think that you should have little man syndrome, dude. You're 49 years old. You're successful.
47.
47.
Let's not age me too
I'm
much.
49. Sorry. I mean, you've been on NASCAR. You've been a producer. You've been on TV. I mean, look at your resume. It's a badass resume.
I've had my videos played in the Jumbotron at Times Square, so it's pretty huge.
Guess what? That's a win. That's a win.
It is.
I want you
had a great career. Don't get me wrong.
Listen. If you want to change your mind, you need to give yourself praise. What have you accomplished? Who are you? What have you done? Your resume speaks for itself. Now you need to set the next stage of your life. You need the next 1 year. What's your goal? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. But you also need to set tomorrow's goals. And they're only tomorrow's. And you choose tomorrow's goals. You don't try. You don't have to. That's one thing that I've coached myself. I don't have to do anything. My mortgage is paid. I got money in the bank. My bills are done. When I was coaching a friend of mine, and he works with me actually, he called me up having anxiety. Like it was panic attack anxiety for work, right? Customers would come in, you know, wealthy people have nice cars and they want their cars back as soon as possible. And they want us to put the clear paint protection. They want us to tint the windows. They want us ceramic coating. They want their car done back in a day. And we're not McDonald's and we're not a drive-through. We can't just do it like right this second. So the expectations are sometimes unmet. The customer thinks they can get the car back faster. So they press the people that work and they go, hey man, you know, I really love to have my car back Friday. And the guy goes, oh, because they don't want to disappoint. All right, man. Well, you know, all right, I'll do what I can. So the guy gets up at 6 a.m, comes in 3 hours early, stays 2 hours late, misses his son's, you know, whatever event. Wife's giving him a hard time, yelling at him because he now is getting problems at home because he's now trying to appease someone that has money. All you have to do is tell that guy with money, hey man, do you want me to do a great job on your car? I don't want to rush your car because I don't want to put out shit work.
Right.
So I want to need an extra day and a half on your car. I don't know anybody that's going to call me personally and say, hey man, I need another day or two on your car because I don't want it to go out of here not looking right. I want to do as good a job as I can. I need a little bit more time. And you know this guy's got 2 or 3 extra cars. So it's selling that expectation, number one. But number two is, I'll get to the point. He called me and was thinking of leaving this company and was thinking about leaving me. And I was like, all right, well, let me understand why. I just want to understand why. He starts listing off the things. And I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you have a roof over your head? Are your kids healthy? Do you have money in the bank? Do you have beer in the fridge? Does your wife love you? Do you have money saved up for a vacation? And I looked at him and he goes, yeah. And I go, then you don't have any fucking problems. You have no fucking problems.
Right.
I said, can you walk? Can you get out of bed? Can you jump rope? Can you run? I said, I have problems. I cannot walk. Very good. You can. I have problems, you don't.
All right.
So don't tell me you have problems. You have a problem telling that customer to wait 2 more fucking days for his car. That's the only problem we have here. He's been with me another year. He's one of my best guys. He's awesome. But when you have a conversation that's the real, where's the problem? The problem is no problem. The problem is that you are trying to be a nice guy. You're trying to come in every day and work harder to appease people when you need to tell them no.
Right.
Rich people need to be told no.
Right.
And then they want you more. I always said in sales, if you take someone that wants your product and you take it away from them and tell them you're not available, they want you more.
Yeah, it's the old you want what you can't have.
You want more,
complex.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you don't have any problems. You have a roof over your head. You have health. You can walk better than me. You could go hiking right now in the mountains. I used to hike in college all the time. I want to go hiking really bad. I want to go hiking. I want to do a 10-mile hike. I can't make it. I couldn't do it.
Right. I
Not now.
understand
Not now. But I'm going to, because that's my goal.
Mhm.
My goal is to get better every single day so I can. I don't choose to say I can't. I don't choose to say I'm not going to ever be able to hike again. I'm choosing that I'm in training right now, but I'm not ready for the fight.
And I completely understand where you're coming from, because there is that level of having to find the gratitude in the things that we've done.
Take the win.
Right.
Close your eyes one day. Take the next. What do you like to drink? Beer, liquor, what?
I'm usually
What's your alcohol
I'm
choice?
usually a liquor drinker. I'm not really big on beer.
Okay.
I like vodka.
Okay.
You know,
But when you take your next sip, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to take that next sip when you're drinking. And I want you to give yourself some thanks and say, you know what? I'm pretty fucking good. I've been on TV. I've been in Madison Square Garden. I've accomplished what not many people in the world has ever accomplished. When have you ever given yourself some appreciation?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You should.
I get it.
Because what happens is that will become fuel. You just said your plant-based diet, right? But what is your mind and your heart getting?
Well,
You gotta plant that fuel too.
To interject, there are times when I do sit back and do that. I'm like, you've been on TV for 15 years. You've worked in television for 25. You've done races. You've interviewed celebrities. You've produced celebrities. It's like, I get that I've had these wins.
Right.
But I always bring myself back to, how the hell do I get back to doing that?
Well, you got to set new wins. Okay, that chapter.
That's what the show is for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what else? Maybe it's not the show. If you're not planting seeds, you're not growing anything. You got to keep planting seeds every day, man. I always say, when you meet somebody, if you meet somebody at Chick-fil-A, if you meet somebody at the gas station, I always say you're marketing yourself every day. Who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who are you? What do you do? And how do I get a hold of you? You need to blaster that 20, 30 times a day. Every person you come in contact with. I don't care if you're pumping gas. Hey, man, I'm so-and-so. How do you say your name again?
I knew this was coming. I was going to ask you. I'm like, do you remember how to say my last name?
Hell no, I don't.
Do you remember my first name?
Yeah, Derek.
Okay.
So,
It's Derek Pernesiglio.
Pernesiglio.
Yes. In the racing world, some people know the name.
P.
Yeah.
It's Derek P, man.
Pernesiglio. You know what? Everyone told me for the longest time, you should shorten your name.
100%.
No.
Really?
You know why?
Why?
And I heard this from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
He
Schwarzenegger.
He
yeah,
said,
they remember it.
That's right. He said,
Yeah,
if
they
when you
remember you.
become important enough,
remember
they
it.
will remember your
That
name.
is awesome.
Yep.
I love that. Now, thanks for correcting me.
Yeah.
I love that.
They told me that. For the longest time, I was thinking about
If you're
shorting
listening
it
to this podcast and you have a screwed up last name, keep it. Just
it.
become a badass so people have to remember it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Because people
Dude,
have
that's
said to me, why don't
powerful.
you shorten it? And I've said, if it worked for Chris Economaki, it can work for me.
Dude, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
If you become important enough, they will remember
I
your name.
love that. That is awesome. You just fueled me.
Cool.
You just gave
Fueled
me
you
some
up,
fuel.
right?
You just gassed
All
me
right,
up,
gassed
baby.
you up.
I love
How
it.
about that, Micah?
That's
cool.
hard. That's hard to do, but I'm impressed by that. Thank you for saying that. No, it's killer, man. Listen, just plant some seeds. Who are you? How to get a hold of you? What's your show again? Say it on
The Derek Pernesiglio Show.
the Derek
Pernesiglio.
Pernesiglio show.
The Derek Pernesiglio
You have
Show.
Instagram, Facebook.
It is on. You can find it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Real DP Show.
Yep.
The name of the show is the Derek Pernesiglio Show. Obviously,
It's a
we're
badass show, man. I
also
listened to it the other day. I did.
Thank you. I
It was
appreciate it.
incredible.
Thank you.
The amount of content you're creating is vital. It's important. Just got to get some more youthful people on there. It's a little bit older people.
There are, but you have to remember though, the older people have the stories, and that's the premise of the show, is telling us these war stories over the years. Now we do have some of the younger generation drivers that are on the show.
Younger people have the following.
We had we had a young lady named Amber Balkan on the show.
wow.
And attractive young girl. She can also drive a race car like hell. She's married to a Canadian football player. She works out every day. She's self-motivated. She does her own marketing. She does, and it's all of those things that she does to increase her brand.
Right.
And we had her on the show. And being that we are witnessing the backstory right now. She doesn't have like any war stories to share with us, or many. So what we did was we talked more about lifestyle stuff.
Sure.
What's going on now and in the
Right
present?
on, yeah.
What does your diet and workout regimen consist of? We even got to chatting about the TV shows that we liked. So it's
cool.
not always racing.
See, I like that. I can't wait. You have that one? It's live?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm going to watch
it's
that
right
one.
on there.
See, that's the one I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Youthful woman. Yeah, I'm in racing.
She can drive like hell. Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
See,
she works out like
I'm a
a
man.
fiend. Her boyfriend is a football player.
See?
He's a super nice guy too.
all you had to do is promote that one, and that would hook me. Everybody's got a different hook.
She raced at Daytona recently too.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Good for her.
I know. And she's young too, in her 20s.
That's awesome.
Came from my world of sprint car and midget racing too. So
Good.
we had that same type of background.
That's sick.
And yeah, so we have guests like that on the show.
Right.
We have. It's so funny too, because the people that are on that you haven't heard of, or sometimes have some of the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of the racing community.
Maybe take the podcast mobile and go to some of these garages.
We're thinking about that. We are. It's a collaboration right now between me and two other people, because all three of us technically own the show.
Okay.
So there is a lot of sweat equity involved.
Sure.
Where we're all doing.
I get
our
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hair products.
Hair products.
You got to get on the hair products, man.
Yeah. And you gotta increase your reach.
Oh,
from what I've
absolutely.
seen. You don't have a Twitter. I saw that you don't have a Twitter.
No,
I saw
I've never
that you
had a
don't-
Twitter.
Okay, you got to get a Twitter for the show at least.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you handle all that for me.
So.
I'm just going to hire you.
Okay.
I don't have the time.
At your service, huh?
Just tell me what I need to do and what. Yeah, I don't have
Content
time for this.
Content creator and all
The
that.
thing is, man, this show was for me, man. This show was not about monetizing. It was. I do want to get more reach. It was funny. I went to the United Kingdom. I went to London, and I was in Manchester, and then I was in Birmingham, and I walk into a shop, beautiful shop, manager. I'm with my buddy Chris, who introduces me, and he goes, "Hey, man, this is Mike Burke from Say." I know who Mike is. I listened to his podcast. I'm in freaking Manchester, England.
That's
and
awesome.
this dude is like, listen to my podcast
That's
and
really
knows
cool.
who I am. I have people in Germany when I was at the Porsche place working. People there listen to my show. I'm like,
it's humbling, isn't it?
it's weird. Like you're used to that crap. I'm not used to that.
It's humbling though, because you're happy that they are enjoying what you're creating.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that people enjoy what I create for them.
100%.
Just to be able to make that, because I'm more of the creative mind than I am like a technical or mechanical mind. So
people ask me, they go, "Do you research anyone on your show?" And I said, "Absolutely not. I don't want to research a thing. I want it to be raw. I research nothing.
I do. I
know
research
zero. So when anybody comes on my show, I don't research them. I don't look at anything. I want the questions to be real. I want the questions to be whatever you're saying for me to instantaneously have a reaction. I want to dive deeper into that question. And I don't want to have any script. There's zero script. I don't want a script. That's why I call it Real Talk with Mike Burke. Mm-hmm. Because it's me and you sitting at my bar, hanging out. I want to have a drink. We can pour a drink and have a drink. And that's what it is. It's two guys sitting at a bar having a drink. And that's this environment. That's what I'm trying to recreate, is a bar setting where I'm sitting at the bar in my happy place, where I can socially talk to someone for the first time. And that's what's important to me, because when I go to a bar and I sit next to somebody, I don't know his story. I know nothing about this person. An hour later, we've drank whiskey together. I've known his wife, his kids, his business, where he came from, his ski trip last year, and I know 100 things about this guy after sitting at the bar for an hour. And that's what I'm recreating. I'm recreating that experience. because that's what's important to me. Because I love leaving the bar, going home and going, man, I just met this cool dude sitting next to me at the bar. And I just learned 5 things from this guy today.
Right.
I'm learning from you today. You just gave me something that fueled me up. If you have a screwed up last name, I'm sitting here as a marketing guy going, you should probably abbreviate your name and it'd probably be easier to remember. Well, you know what? Arnold Schwarzenegger, very popular guy, very wealthy, and he turns around and says the same thing. I'm like, okay, I can retract my statement, and now I can be proven wrong and with exactly the point you just make. And I'm like, yeah, I just learned something. Your name's important enough, people freaking remember it.
When you become important enough, people will remember
I love it.
So
I love that. And I'm taking that away from this setting, and that's what I like. I can have an opinion about something, but if someone can give me the evidence to change my opinion, I'll change it instantly. Mm-hmm. I'll say, oh, man, you're right.
Right.
I'm not always...
And that's a problem that people run into nowadays.
Really?
Because they have, I forget what it's called, it's some kind of syndrome where even if they're proven wrong, they will fight tooth and nail to prove their incorrect point.
I quickly give people praise. I'm like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I have no problem admitting I'm wrong.
Yeah. People...
I like to be
people
proven
have
wrong.
that problem sometimes.
But see, that's self-growth. That's when you want to make yourself better.
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn every day.
It's some type of effect. I forgot what it was called.
I don't know.
The backlash effect or the kickback effect. I forgot what it was. Even when they're proven wrong, how they will fight tooth and nail to insist they're right, which you see a lot in politics and fighting on social media.
I don't know if I'd be good at politics or not.
Oh my God, I hate politics.
I just don't even listen to them.
I hate politics. I really do.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You talk about religion and politics, you can make enemies real quick.
Oh my God, at 100%.
You're going to make enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
and
so I'm going to take the divert. Like when people come to me with like different things, I'll do what I was telling you earlier. Where I'll deflect. I just deflect.
You know what the bad thing is too is that I follow politics, but I also hate it because I follow it just because I want to see what's going on in the world, and I watch the news.
Stop. I don't watch the news ever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I make my own news. My life is news.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my own news, and I'm only going to put in my body, like you said, better food. You said your mind feels better.
Right.
Why are you putting in your mind bad shit? You're eating bad food.
Yeah, you're
Stop.
right. You're right.
Stop.
Yeah, you're right.
Just fucking stop.
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Turn the shit off.
I know. You're right. You're right. And you are right, and it's really
Just turn
it's
off.
hard to avoid
No,
when
it's
you see it
not.
on social
It's
media
not
all
hard.
the time. I've got so many of my friends
Here's
that
the
just
thing.
post all that
Dude,
political shit, and I just look
unfollow
at it
them.
like, yeah, true.
I'm not going to lie. I'll go through weekly.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I go through weekly on Facebook and Instagram. If I see one negative thing that gives me anxiety, blocked,
Really?
delete.
Good.
If I see a post about something that I don't like, unfollow. I don't put anything into my brain I don't want to absorb.
Right.
Period. You just said, how do I stay motivated? The number one thing is fuel your brain.
Yeah. No, I
You're
get
putting
it.
the wrong fuel in.
I get it.
But you do now, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately.
All right, get your phone. Where's your phone?
Unfortunately, with my
Get
type
your phone
of
out.
with my job, Micah, can you hand me my phone?
Get
please?
your phone out. I want you to do one thing on this show. Just one. One. I don't want to say a name, but I want one thing.
Thanks, bud.
I want you to go to your phone.
Go to my phone. Okay.
I want you to find something on Facebook. Either someone, a person that you know that's always posting shit that gets you riled up. I don't want you to name a name, and I want you to unfollow them.
Right now.
Right now.
All right.
It'll be invigorating.
I got like 5,000 followers on Facebook.
I don't care.
So give me a minute.
Go
here.
find one that you freaking, when you watch his page, he's like, mother, he's watching the news. You know there's one. There's one.
Okay, hang on.
Micah, you see this, right? He's got his phone out. He's scrolling through Facebook, and he's finding someone that is posting stuff that he doesn't like, that riles him up, that gets him anxiety, and he's unfollowing them right now. News sources.
Unfollow.
Unfollow.
Okay, unfollow.
Are you okay?
What's
Are
that?
you alive?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, guess what's going to happen later today? You're going to find another one. And you're going to find another one. Every day you're going to find at least one.
Yeah.
Every day.
But you know what sucks, though, is that I'm in the business where we have to use social media.
Sure.
And I hate social media.
But someone else needs to do it.
You know, like
Then let somebody else do it.
No, I mean, I have to use it because
I get it.
you know, for the
Yeah.
show and all
Right,
that kind
right.
of stuff. Yeah, but if I
You have to stay neutral on every stance.
Right, you have to
You have to
stay
stay neutral on every stance.
100%.
You can't have an opinion.
Because when you are a member of the media and then
Can't
you
have an
give an
opinion.
opinion, you are leaving yourself wide open to get
For attack.
shot.
Yes.
You
You have
are.
a sniper bullet on you.
Right, absolutely. I
Career
stopped.
ending.
You know, after COVID hit and my grandmother died and my other family members died, I was so angry for a long time because I would post that my grandmother had passed or something like that, and then I see my friends posting, "Oh, this is nothing but the flu. It's nothing. This is COVID's a hoax and this and that." I'm like, dude, it's not a hoax. My grandmother's dead, you know. And the one thing that used to piss me off so much, I wanted to reach through the screen and punch him, was, "I'm sorry for your loss, but." I'm sorry for your loss, but. What the fuck does that mean? I'm sorry for your loss,
Where's
but.
the but?
Yeah, like it means that everything that you said doesn't mean shit to me except till after the but.
Right.
I'm sorry for your loss. My grandmother is fucking dead, and you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, but." You know, your family members are dead. I'm sorry for your loss, but. Like,
I hope you unfriended them.
I did.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm just. I
Good.
was like, I had. Yeah, there's that long period of time where that just infected me so much with all that stuff going on because
I've said this many times in my life.
because here's why. Let me just
No,
quickly
please do.
interrupt you. The bad luck charges interest, you know, because family members passed. Then the interest is all the shit talkers that come from it, you know, things like that. The bad luck, like I said, just to repeat it, charged interest. So it's one of those things that I struggled to get past, and like you said, the unfollow button has been getting a workout for the last 2 years. You know,
Good for you.
And like you said, I have to be neutral. There's so many times I want to hold my tongue, just for the simple fact that I'm in the position that I'm in. Because if the wrong producer or the wrong network exec, because there are pretty important people that are on my friends list too, see me saying the wrong thing or posting the wrong thing, you know, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And
You can be blackballed really quick.
real quick. So I don't put any opinions on social media anymore, because anytime you put an opinion on, an opinion can be argued.
All
you know?
day.
So as soon as you put an opinion on, you're opening yourself up for an argument. So I stay away from opinion-based stuff. Now it's like, hey, look at these chickens that are walking around my front yard. You know, like, it's that. Really, that's what it is. It's like, oh, here's a new episode of my show. It's no longer,
Yeah.
you know, I think this issue in life sucks because of this.
I used to make comments. I was in a couple of Facebook groups in my industry. They're like Facebook groups of people, like probably 10,000 people in our community. And I used to go in and make comments when people made posts. And then it would be like 10 other comments supporting or retracting what I'm saying.
I know. Everybody's got to have the last word.
And then I'm over here deleting what I said because I had no idea 38 people were going to make comments on what I said.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and they all want me to make another comment to keep the chain going of all this, like this, and this. I just quit posting and I quit liking and I quit all of it. I just said, I'm done with it.
I think it comes down to that childish urge to have the last word. I have to have the last word, which is why they're going to keep
We're not in high
arguing.
school, man.
I know.
You remember when I said at the bar, let him have his win?
Mm-hmm.
And just because he's needing a friend? The people that live on social media, that try to be the king of social media, the ones that respond quickly, the ones that like everything, the ones that do this, they're so lonely. The guy needs a friend. These people are so lonely, man. And I know they're lonely. And I have all the power because I can crush them in 2 freaking seconds because I'm powerful mentally. And I know they're lonely. And I know that they live on social media because that's the only platform that gives them some high. You said you were looking for the next high, right? The high that you liked being on camera, the adrenaline that it came with, and that's what social media has become. Social media has become the next high for everyone.
Yeah, it's a dopamine dump.
Yeah, and you know what? I go to the gym, open the door for a guy that's trying to get back in shape because he's out of shape. He just went through a divorce and he's 40 pounds overweight, and I'm his motivation. I walk in every day going, you're here. Let's do something. If you're going to walk in the door, let's do something. For hardest battle was walking through the damn door. Okay? I mean, social media can be used for all different goods and evils. But when you open your door to go make comments on things that you know are going to keep you involved, like I look at the same 30, 40 people in these groups and they just make this.
Social media is a knife. Now, a knife can be used as a tool or a weapon.
Absolutely.
I've said that many times. And you have to choose wisely.
Absolutely. 100%. That's well said.
Yeah.
I agree with that statement 100%. You said something about making interest. I look at my life as a bank account, and you can make deposits and withdrawals. And if you don't make enough deposits and you keep making withdrawals, then I close the account. It's okay to say no to a friend. It's okay to say no. A guy calls you and comes over and drinks your beer, doesn't bring any beer, drinks your beer, drinks your beer, drinks your beer, drinks your beer. And, you know, I look back and I go, dude, this guy just keeps taking from my life. He's not adding any value. And then I woke up one day and I go, you know what? That dude's funny as shit. Like every time he comes over, I just laugh my ass off. So I go, the payment of beer and the payment is he's my entertainment. So I look at, he's making a deposit. He's making a deposit into my laugh factory where I can go, you know what? He's funny as hell. Every time I get around here, I'm just smiling and laughing and goofing off. He can drink all the beer he wants. So what mindset do you have? Are you having a mindset that he's taking from your life? Or are you going to find something that he brings positive to the table? And that's what I do with every transaction, every relationship, every friend, is I try to find the root of what I'm getting out of it and what they're getting out of it.
I remember you were saying this on one of your previous shows. Like, there's a lot of transactional relationships nowadays.
A lot.
A lot.
So when people meet someone for the first time, I have thousands of people who are my friends when they buy a new car because I tint windows. We put window tint on cars. I've been doing it for 30 years or since 1988 or 90, whatever, since high school. And every 3 years, every year and a half, hey, Mike, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Haven't heard from this dude in 2 years. Calls me up. Hey, man. Or texts me. Just bought a new car. You're the best tinter in Charlotte. I will never take it to anybody else but you. Giving me some gas, right? Pumping me up, getting my head big. Wants a discount. Wants me to do it for like half price because I did it 10 years ago when we were just starting out, when I had my first shop or whatever, and I did the car for like $150. And so now any friend or someone that I've done business with in the past, I'm not in my stores every day. I don't tint windows every day. I don't run the show like I used to. I don't answer the phones and deal with the customers. I do occasionally when I'm in the stores just hanging out. I'll do it. But I'll text that person and say, which shop or which location would you like to come to? And they'll say, oh yeah, the South Tryon or South or whatever. And I said, great. Tell the staff member to give you our dealer pricing. So I've made a rule in my company. Anytime I test or tell someone to give us our dealer pricing, it's like $50 off or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's what I would charge the dealership at the car dealership. And that's the best deal they're going to get. Mm-hmm. And I would do the same deal for the car dealership because this guy's loyal and he sent me 3 or 4 or 5 cars and he's been loyal to our company and he's a friend. But I'm only a friend through the transaction. I'm only a friend because he wants to do a transactional relationship with me. He's never called me and asked me how I'm doing. Never called me and, you know, sent me an instant message or a text saying, hey, bro, you want to drink a beer this weekend? You want to go to the game? You want to do anything? I've never heard from this guy. I look back 3 years, and that's the last text he sent me was when he bought his son a car and then his mom a car or his wife a car or whatever. So it's a transactional relationship. And then, you know, they're nice. If I see them in the shop, I'm friendly to them. You know, we'll catch up. We'll say, oh, have the kids, you know, whatever. We're personable. But they're not truly my friends. They're not reaching out to me on an ongoing basis to see how I'm doing. They're not checking in. They don't know my kids' names. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what's happening in the world is people want a transaction, okay? If you have someone that's popular on social media, say there's a female that is very popular, has lots and lots of Instagram followers, lots of Facebook followers or whatever, and you want to become this person's friend because you want to be posted or you want to be included in a story that you're with that person during an event so you now can be seen in that circle. There was an intent to try to be friends with that person. So that transaction in their mind, they were planting a seed going, I want to get to know this person so I can use them for their social influence. And I'm seeing that a lot on social media. I'm seeing people try to be friends with people on social media who have a following to try to pump them up, gas them up, be in their circle, just to force themselves as a groupie so they can become popular just by default.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's almost in a way kind of like a digital hanger-on, you know, if you think about it that way. Yeah, I understand that. It's a much different world from what you and I grew up in, you know, especially
I like
nowadays.
to talk on the phone, man. Pick up the phone. What's up, bro?
Right?
How you doing,
If
man?
I get back and forth, if I get like 10 texts deep with someone back and forth,
Call
I'm
me.
picking up the phone.
No shit.
Hey, what are you doing? You know,
Well, that's our
I
age.
don't feel like typing.
But see, that's our age. Yeah. Micah, on the other hand, love this dude. Love him. He's family. I got his back. He could call me anytime. I'd be there. But I send him a text. It might be 3 days before the dude calls me back. Like, he's buried in a studio. He's got his headphones on.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
See?
But if you call me, I pick up though.
You not all the time, but you do.
I'm usually,
I'm sure he's got like the top 10 people, and I do put money in his bank account. So he looks at his phone and goes, "Oh, it's Mike calling. Let me answer it."
This has been fun, man.
Man,
Thank
I appreciate you
for
coming
having
on
me
the show.
today.
You're an amazing guy. Don't you ever say little man syndrome to me ever again.
Appreciate it.
You are fucking no little man. You're a big man in my world. You have a beautiful head of hair. You have a great podcast. You have an amazing story, resumes 25 years deep. Next time I have you on this show, you're going to be telling me all the success stories of your next podcast, your movie, Netflix deal.
I'm actually on Netflix right now on the Bubba Wallace documentary.
That's badass, man.
Yeah.
See?
I kept getting a bunch of phone calls from people going, "Hey, I saw you on Netflix." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It was on
Where's the royalties?
The Bubba Wallace documentary. Yeah, I haven't seen a dime.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to.
They could at least give you a few more followers on Instagram or something.
I guess.
But no, man, you're amazing, man. Don't you ever put yourself down. I want only good fuel going in your brain. You've met me. We're friends.
Thank you.
We
I
are
appreciate
absolutely
that.
friends.
Yeah,
You can
I'm
come around
happy that you
anytime.
said that.
Call me anytime. You can text me anytime. And I look forward to picking your brain because you have way more knowledge in this world than I do when it comes to the social media, the podcasting, the media. You're a wealth of knowledge. And I'm going to pick your brain, and I'm going to gas you up to get your ass back in the gym. And we're only going to drink on the weekends.
I went to the gym yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
You feel better,
I mean,
right?
I was supposed to. I'm probably going to go today
Good.
because Monday it was closed for the holidays.
Yep.
So yesterday I went because
Good.
usually I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
Because on the weekends I'm racing.
Bro, I saw your shirt off at the freaking, you look good, bro.
Thank you. I
look
appreciate
good.
that. It's.
Might have been the alcohol I was drinking. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, but you know what it is too. I stopped trying to do like super heavy weight because I had hurt myself so many times. I'd torn muscles and I ripped a scalene muscle in my neck from trying to do presses.
I don't even know that was a muscle.
It's the muscle that like runs this way down your neck and over your collarbone. So there were times where I would turn here and I would feel this pull all the way up through here, and so I stopped doing heavy weight. I just do lightweight. But
I think that's everybody in their 40s now.
You know, like you said you're in a competition with yourself. I used to be like that, trying to lift weights, and my girlfriend would yell at me all the time. She's like, "You always push it too hard. You always push it too hard because you're always pushing yourself, and look what happens. You end up hurting yourself." And she was right, because I'll hurt myself. I'll be out of the gym for
They'll set you back a month.
keep going longer than that. It'll be bad. It'll set me back 4 or 5 months, and the weight gets put back on. I get out of shape, and then the whole process has got to start over again.
Yeah.
So I kind of said, no more super duper heavyweight. Nothing. Just and hell, I can't even bench press 100 pounds. For
Doesn't
Christ's
matter.
sake,
You could probably do some push-ups though.
What's that?
You can do push-ups, right?
Yeah, I can do
Push-ups. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on the show. You're an amazing guy. I'm
you.
so happy to have met you. Your story's incredible. We all battle things, but you know what? I can see that your stock is rising. I can see that you're getting more powerful. I can see the flame in you getting brighter, and I cannot wait to see you on Netflix with your own show. And I'm going to say, I know that guy, and I knew him before he was famous. Or even, you are famous. You're just going to be even more famous. You are.
I don't know about famous.
You are.
But
You're going to be famous.
I just want to work in the business that I love, man. When growing up, two things always fascinated me: television and race cars, like how they made it and how it was produced and all of that.
Yeah.
And
we need
race
some
cars.
burnout videos, man. We need to like get a race car driver and like just do donuts in a parking lot, do some burnouts and
do
shit.
that.
That's fun, man. That's what people want to watch on YouTube, man. They want to watch a bunch of kids, 12 years old, want to watch NASCAR drivers do burnouts. Isn't that what they want to see, Micah? Yep, pretty
It's
much.
amazing.
It is. You want to get 1 million followers on YouTube? Just go do burnouts.
I know.
Get some midgets and start burn the wheels off until they pop. I'm telling you, I would sponsor that.
You would sponsor that?
I'll sponsor that. If you can find a midget car to do a burnout,
To do
I'll
some
buy
burnouts?
I'll buy 2 of the wheels. I'll buy 2 of the tires, and I'll sponsor the burnout.
That's a lot of wear and tear on those motors, though.
Don't care.
That's
It's not my
lot.
motor.
It's a pretty penny to replace them, though.
Yeah, but find somebody that can burn the hell out of them. Do donuts for like.
I could burn the hell out of it. You just put me in the car and I'll put the
Find
right
somebody
tires
give you a
on
car.
it, and we could burn
I'll
them
buy
up.
tires. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go
God.
do some burnouts. Why not?
This might be fun.
But we should. That's what I mean. That's the kind of stuff we need to be doing. Going out, having fun with racing, because if you make a name for yourself for doing burnouts at every racetrack and you find somebody that'll do burnouts with you and let you get in the car and do burnouts and let you film it, put that on your show, next thing you know, boom, you're going to have a youthful audience watching burnouts.
It's all content.
It's all content.
It's all content.
Yeah, but you got to get the content out there that the youthful people want to watch, because they're the ones that live on YouTube. They're old people are still falling asleep at 9 o'clock watching CNN and Fox News.
I know.
The guys that are watching YouTube and these podcasts are usually the younger people, man.
And guys like you and me are trying to figure out TikTok.
I don't even have a TikTok.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
Or if I do,
we have to.
I don't even
because-
remember my login.
Right, we have to, because now we were in this realm where we have to have that
No
reach
joke.
on social media.
I need to hire me like a high school 20-year-old kid or 19-year-old kid or something.
I can handle it for you.
You can. All right.
I can handle it.
You're a man, dude. I appreciate you coming on the show. You're a
Dude,
badass.
thank you.
This dude's amazing. He's, he's the first guest we've had, Micah, that actually had the microphone up to his mouth the whole time.
I know. I love it.
Me too. Awesome.
It's just I may have talked onto him Mike once or twice.
It's
so,
all right.
yeah.
You're a badass.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Talk with Mike Burke. And this is episode, 17? Yeah, it's 17 shows, man. You believe that shit?
It's one of our family's racing numbers.
Love it. Micah, thanks for being on the mic today.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Wrap it up.